And we're back, and I just want to point out, I love that we had the discourse of the Those Who Wander Polycule on a totally different channel and didn't record it.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
I know. Just gotta keep them guessing.
Some ships were
I
built.
feel like we missed something
others
important.
Were sent.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Kaz. Huh?
You showed up to the stream too late. You missed stuff.
I hear there's a fleet in town.
Indeed.
That's it. We also love friend of the channel, one Punky.
Oh, it was before I joined the Punky chat.
Yeah, we were unruly for a bit.
I'll just ask Punky later.
Rules
Tell me again,
and
Leah.
routines
If you
and-
find out.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up if I find out. But you've seen how reliable I am with responding.
You know.
Oh no. Oh no.
All I know is now if I hear anything in Draconic, Branson is no longer safe.
Yeah, that is a pretty sick reply, though. Hey, can you do this for me? Maybe. I suck. just give yourself the out immediately. All right. Well, okay. Well, I guess that's.
You know what? Fair point. I don't really have a response to that. I was making a joke to the pre-stream apology to Kaz.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
responding
But it
to
is
the message,
really.
but
funny.
like, yeah, out of context, that is really like, oh yeah, I got you. Except I don't because I suck.
Damn. Damn.
Wow.
No, if I learn, Kaz, I will let you know. I'm putting that on my.
Please, it's gonna bother me this entire
I'm
stream.
putting it on a sticky note on my computer so I don't forget.
Excellent.
But yes, we're back.
Made it.
With the way that you said that, I was half ready for you to say, we're back and with 50% more spooky.
Well, like, we have a reconstructed, surgically reconstructed spooky.
Yeah.
This is very true. Surgically reconstructed spooky, as opposed to organic and the natural.
You can use that on your future resume, Skeleton. That's free.
It's a
You
great
got it.
tagline.
I'll hold it out whenever somebody invites me onto a tabletop game. I'm surgically reconstructed spooky.
It's just your card that you can whip out when anyone's mean
Yeah.
to you.
I'll make sure to give it to Matt Mercer next time I talk to him.
It's just a bone. It's like a femur with like a band-aid and a little smooch mark on it.
Welcome to the Bone Podcast, everybody.
Roll
Welcome it. Still gotta put to use that Roll the Bones podcast idea, Vaughn.
them.
I was thinking about doing a stream with you, Vaughn, me, and Trinket Witch, and just have the Bone Zone.
Yeah.
Do it! Do
Yeah.
it!
There has to be more skeletons in the local net that do tabletop.
I want to find one more, and then we could for sure to do something silly.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to find another boner. If you're out there and you're a boner, let us know.
Hit us up with telepathy.
I now await the YouTube comments just for that reply.
Speaking of boners, who wants to start this this shindig?
I'll do it. Hi, I'm Xanolis Grimm. I usually stream, but things are a bit in the interim for now. That being said, you can still catch me over at twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST for some more Vecna Eve of Ruin, where I play an entirely different bard who's depressed and or angry for completely different reasons. I know, I have a type. Then, on maybe Tuesday evening, twitch.tv/AnimalScrim again, I'll be streaming something. Maybe some Helldivers, maybe some Space Marine 2. Kind of up in the air on that one too. We'll see what's going on. Then on Thursday, twitch.tv/Montyglue at 7 p.m. PST, we have some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We finished the last fight, and now we have the epilogue coming up to this 4-ish year campaign. So if you want to see the end of that, I play another depressed guy. So again, I have a type. You can come over and see what that's all about, and we'd love to have you. Then on Saturday, twitch.tv/The Unexpectables at 6 p.m. PST. I got some more Pool Scout 40k setting I run in the Rogue Trader system. So we're about to embark onto another big space adventure. So if you want to see what that's about, come on over. Aside from that, I post everything I do, and when I do it, on my Blue Sky, it's Animal Scrim. And with that being said, I will gently toss the Talking Skull over to one Skelly Alpha.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Skelly Alpha. Thank you for passing the skull.
Gently.
find-
I know you're recovering.
I'm still recovering. You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky under the same names. No schedule this coming week. I'm still in the process of recovering and revamping everything for the I wouldn't really call it a re-debut, but I'll be starting to use my 3D model coming up starting on the 22nd. So I'm setting everything up to use that. I know I've had it in the back pocket for like a year and a half plus. So right now OBS is gutted, so I can't really do anything on my end. But I still will be places. I'll be hanging out. I think on Tuesday, I think we're all going to be doing Minecraft together rather than Paper Mario. So that'll be a fun time. And then Friday is still going to be the 4 Gears hangout doing Terraria, fighting increasingly angrier deities. But besides suits on next Sunday, that's really it for me. So other than tons of art fight prep, the teams got announced. We got Splatfest. It's gonna be great. But with that, I'll pass it over to Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah, aka Amusing Thalia. I am a streamer most of the time. You can find me at my channel or on other people's channels, as I like to hang out with friends and do streams with them a lot of the time. Been pulling the EV card lately and showing up on more people's streams than I stream myself. But I do a lot of TRPGs. I do a lot of mech games, a lot of Sapphic games. So yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, you can follow me there or not. I'm not a cop. But otherwise, I'm just thankful to be here playing with my friends. I stream a bunch of days in the week. I'm not gonna do the whole rigmarole. If you want to watch any of my stuff, you can find me. And I'm gonna pass this along to Saris. Have you gone yet?
I have not.
Yeet.
Oh. Got it.
Nice catch.
Yeah. Thanks.
Don't slap it, Saris. What the hell?
I had to catch
Fucking
it.
spiked it.
That's bonused.
Well, would you prefer I drop it? Because I could just drop it.
Well, don't do that.
Well, yeah, our options are limited. But hello, you can find me all over the internet at TixTixel. Sometimes I stream, sometimes I'm on other people's streams. Like, and this is me gently turning to the left. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, we have more near tomorrow at the Amusing Thalia's channel. I'm excited to pick that back up, unless I'm mistaken. And then the next
I'll have
thing
to
we
check. I don't know.
Okay. Salutes. As soon as we know, you'll know. Jazz hands. But other than that, we've got this Saturday coming up with a doubleheader. We've got some more love more. Nah, I'm so sorry. No love or extra.
We'll
over
go
on
with the second
this
take.
channel. And it's getting juicy. It's getting spicy. Happy Pride. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then immediately following that, we have our next installment of the Lost and the Found. The crew is getting up to probably what is going to be the end of this coming arc. So if you've been following along and you're really excited for that, please be sure to check it out. Other than that, you can find me here every other Sunday DMing this, and I'm gonna pass the skull very gently over to Cass.
I'm going to take the skull and set it in my lap and pet it. Hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me on Instagram at Blue Sky at Kaztastrophe or actually, probably more likely at Sarcastic Vision, because it's art fight time. Soon, it's very soon. So I've been doing so much drawing, and that's what I'm doing today, is more art fight prep as we do our silly little roleplay game. But that's it, that's me. So I'm going to, gently, pass our lovely skull over to Vaughn.
Well, I thank you, and I realize probably the next emote I get is just going to be a tossed skull, because we use it so much.
Yes.
But hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at BurnoutVaughn, over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar. This coming week, we will keep you posted if there's possibly some near tomorrow. But then on Tuesday, no Cosmic Caper, but we may be doing something over on one Punky's channel, so keep an eye out for that. The minds have been crafting, and I am now the king of the Below-averse. But aside from that, we then do have, again, like we said, some more No Love War Extra. Where, the toxic Yuriing is Yuriing hard. And we're all happy. Perfect time of the month. But aside from that, also keep an eye out as we do work our way through more of the Battle Network games. We've started with one. We are, I want to say, like 75% of the way through, if I remember right. But then again, I only beat this game when I was in 6th grade, so my memory's not great. But then finally wrapping up the week, we will have more Suits where, oh boy, we definitely have someone coming to, like, talk to two of us, have extreme words, and the only thing that we've found a way to cope is that we call him the Nobbler.
Yeah.
We're just perpetuating that.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a reaction out of me, and I'm just not giving it.
You're not engaging at all.
But yes, if our dysfunctional super team is up your alley, then please give us a look. But with that out of the way, I would normally go to the music, but because it involves two of my friends, I gotta shill it. So we could also always help out our good friend Skelly. And if you'd give to his GoFundMe to help with his medical expenses, our other friend, the Trinket Witch, is doing matching commissions. So hey, maybe check that out. The link's right there in the chat. But now, with that out of the way, now I can do the but now I can do the theme song, so bye.
Just eat it up.
And that is
Enjoy it.
why smoking a cigar is the most homoerotic thing you can do as a man. And I'm always saying that. Hi, Vaughn.
I see we're talking about Crocodile.
Yeah.
Look,
Yep.
I like what I like.
Okay, genuine question then. How do you feel about Shiryu then?
I don't want to get into it.
Oh, the guilt there!
Don't want to out yourself, huh?
You know what? My brain immediately went to, like, you know what? This explains a lot about Ray Cool.
Stop.
Stop.
So what I'm hearing,
Shout out to Therapod.
what I'm hearing, Kaz, because you know what's up. What I'm
I
hearing
do.
is I need to go out and get a pack of fake
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
That's Blake.
Oh, he does have them, doesn't he?
He does.
Amazing. Well, on the topic of gay vampires, who would like to give me a recap of what happened last session?
Nose goes.
Nobody?
Sorry, yawning. I'm always happy to do it if no one else does, but I do have inspiration already. So if
Yeah.
anyone is lacking inspiration, recommend you take it.
I will do it. I just am
Okay,
pulling
great.
up. I am pulling up my session notes. Okay.
I also have inspiration.
Yeah. So we opened last session with Lena and Razvan having a little conversation. Lena had asked Razvan to open up a little bit, so we got a little bit of his backstory. On our way out, Razvan decided to tip Angelique some gold as I suppose a goodwill offering. We then did some shopping. We went to Lychee's shop. We had picked up some travel bottles, and he let us in on some intel about some cloaked figure activity at an old condemned building nearby. So we noted that for later. Then we went to Rivka's estate. And I swear every time we come in here, we're just gonna blow this woman's mind a little bit and then leave. So we did get to chat with her for a while. We got to pick her brain over some of the stuff we've been researching. She showed us her secret room, which is actually a big old wizard's workshop, and it's cool as hell. But then she let us in on a little bit of her intel on Branson's artifact, in which she cannot fix herself, but she will look into it for us. She also noticed Ophastiel was interested in learning more of the arcane arts, and she handed him a wizard's tome. And then on our way out, Branson just casually uncursed her husband. So now he's back to being a guy, and then we just left, which is really cool. That's gonna be fun to come back to in a minute. But on our way out, he saw the smiling shadow again briefly, and then it disappeared. And then our last course of action, Clem went back to their church to go check on them, make sure everything was okay, and the rest of us went to the Bottomless Bag to do the rest of our shopping. We met Asriel Rosenrot for a minute. He's kind of mean, but that's okay. And then we went back to our ship for the night, and I believe that's where we left off.
I believe that is where we left off. Kaz, do you have a die of inspiration?
I don't believe I do.
Would you like one?
I will take one, thank you.
Amazing. And before we actually get properly started, as we move to our Roll20 page, I do have to give some public map credits. Vaughn was very gracious of providing us with some maps from a creator on DM's Guild who had actually gone out of their way to make a bunch of maps that are from that are actually pulled from Feast of Goblins. So really quick thank you, Vaughn, for providing us with that. And who did the maps that we're about to see today?
I do have their name. I will double check. I believe. Yes. And I'll be providing a link in the YouTube description if anyone wants to check out their stuff, because I think they've done a lot of Domains of Dread maps as well. Christopher Lee.
The Christopher Lee? Sir Christopher Lee?
I'm saying,
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm just going off the name that they have for their account. I
There's
can't.
specifically
he was a Renaissance
seancing
man.
him.
He could have done it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
They're
could've.
seancing
Anyone
him.
would
They're letting
know
they're letting him possess their body, and then they're drawing maps.
Okay,
I mean-
to whoever is seancing a spirit board to Christopher Lee, know that I've never been more jealous of anyone in my life. It is the coolest sounding thing I could have
Yeah.
possibly done on a Sunday.
Yep.
We really need those cigars right now.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride! But with that, you find yourselves and your ship anchored in the Sing Song River, where last we left off, you all had a very brief conversation, reconvening with both of the watches, shall we say, the individuals left to watch your ship, the Wayfaring Stranger. It is in this moment of quiet that three of you recognize, with still some daylight out, that there is almost like, the best way that I can describe it is whenever you get that inkling or that urge that you need to go and be somewhere, right? Three of you feel that inkling and that urge to head down below deck, where, if I remember correctly, you've been storing the briefcase of samples. Let me ask, in what order do the three of you, in your own time, descend below deck?
The three of us being...
Being Lena, Ephestial, and Clem.
Lena would probably do so pretty early, mostly because she has several things to drop off from the bottomless bag.
Okay.
Clem and Ephestial?
I always wanted to give it to the captain, but because mine kind of depends on what the others would do. Clem is a very reactive individual to others' demeanors. Though, I guess I should ask Saris a question. Where's Sasha?
Currently, I am being informed that what you see when you look over, you actually see Branson, which actually I'm going to ask, Branson, how do you approach Sasha?
Branson would have known that they probably noticed they stayed on the deck as Juji. I can't remember if they reverted back to their form before, but I know they went below Jack. But
They, as far as you see, last saw, they were still in their humanoid form.
okay, well, he remembers what Sasha said about you could only beat a cat at cards so many times, and he felt a little guilty, so he just kind of walks up and is like, "If you would like, I will play cards with you. And if there's anything in town you would like me to fetch for you, just let me know."
You play cards. There's like a smile, like a very like inquisitive smile on Sasha's face.
I don't play, but I know how to play. I was not invited to many games.
I'll take you that challenge. Let's go up to the crow's nest. I'll race you up there. And they immediately take to the ropes and start climbing.
Branson follows as he is not a man of, intentional speed.
And to wrap up this scene, do you have proficiency?
I do not.
This will be very interesting. I believe playing cards, I believe that's intelligence?
Okay, then I'll just roll a straight intelligence check. 15.
The two of you, we will wrap this scene up and resume with the trio. in a very, 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 very close match of, I'm gonna say we start with war. A very close match of war. And as the two of you are going head to head flipping your cards, Clem, you watched that happen. You saw that interaction. You saw Branson take that initiative.
Yeah, I probably just kind of like watch a little bit from a distance. I think a soft smile would kind of creep over Clem's face, and feeling no longer the need to check in, I would turn to see what Ephes is up to. As again, without reacting to Sasha, would see what Ephes is up to before acting in particular.
He watched Lena go down below deck to take care of her stuff, but he would turn to Clem. If you guys want to maybe have a study session tonight, we can get comfy in my room. It'll be a little bit easier in there.
I suppose so. Captain's quarters are probably a bit more spacious than many of the others. We can start setting up a makeshift laboratory in there. You would prefer?
Not quite certain about where I want to put that yet, but since we don't really have much to go off of now, I was thinking either below deck for easier access, whether it's in the smaller room or just sharing space with the kitchen is yet to be determined, but we can figure that out later. All of my notes are in my room.
That makes sense. That'll be a plan moving forward then, I suppose.
Yes, of
in
course.
that case, kind of looks where Lena disappeared. I will... Have you informed Lena? I will do so if not.
Not yet, but if you could, that would be great.
At your orders, Captain. And I begin to make my way downstairs.
Lena is dropping off a large amount of the rations that she brought from the bottomless bag, just to have tucked away, like in the kitchen area, so people can restock when needed.
Okay, so you're gonna start in the kitchen first?
That's where she probably would have headed unless she was needed immediately elsewhere when everyone got to the boat. Just
Sure.
to offload supplies.
The moment that you enter, you do see Juji seems to be digging in one of the cabinets.
Hello there. Is there something you're looking for?
I'm just letting you know about the plans for business this evening. The captain wishes to speak with the two of us in their quarters regarding the alchemical research. I believe you had expressed some interest, and I had noticed you perusing the notes, so I would be more than happy to assist with the two of your specific pursuits of knowledge.
Oh, certainly. Yes. Let me get all this offloaded, and I'll be right with you.
Of course. Is there anything I can assist you with?
I suppose I don't know the best spot where we could set up this fishing tackle.
I
Just in
think
case.
closer to the top deck would likely be more prudent. Here, I spent a lot of time organizing supplies. I'm happy to assist.
She nods, and she got 3 full fishing tackle sets from the bottomless bag, and for helping catch fish and meals and things when we get out of water sets don't currently have an infestation.
I hand you like a half a day old soft bun, and then get to work while you and kind of like shove it into your hands.
Oh, she looks at it like, ooh.
The baker in town is quite good.
Oh, she'll definitely try it.
And yeah, I will finish organizing down here, moving things around to more efficient places. I could go over that with you, Saris, but this is kind of Clem's bread and butter, is that sort of
Yeah.
clerical work.
Yeah, and I think as long as, you know, there's an understanding, I think, of more so of what is being put into, shall we say, like the ship's inventory, of which
Mhm.
I'm not sure above table if there is a space where you all would like to notate that. You can do so on the Discord if you would like. But the biggest thing that I would just mental note for yourselves, and this is for anyone this applies to, is notating what is being left with the ship, and then what are you keeping on your person as a part of your own inventory.
Perhaps we could make either a handout or a character sheet for the ship that we all have access to that we could start loading things onto.
Yeah, that's something that we can absolutely do.
Yeah, an editable handout would be super easy.
Sure thing. I will add that right here.
But once all the foodstuffs are quickly offloaded and the like, Elena would be happy to follow Clem to the captain's quarters.
Carrying the alchemical equipment as well.
As the three of you get into sort of a shall we say, position in the captain's quarters, if you want to go ahead and move and position yourself, you're welcome to do so on the map.
Okay.
I assume, Ephestrial, you've been in there, I'm guessing the whole time. You just kind of getting yourself cozy?
Yeah, while he was in there, he's been, like, kind of dressing down, getting comfortable. You'll notice he's taken, his, like, kimono jacket and kind of pulled it into a ball on the, I guess the chest sitting in the room. Kind of patting it out like a nest for Vern. And he's done the same with the scarf that he wears on his head, next to it in kind of a smaller pool for Omen.
I have a feeling Vern would just like immediately, just like turn into like more of an orb, like in that spot if he finds it.
Ball form.
That is not an owl. That is a ball of feathers.
Elena would probably also help carry the briefcase of specimens if it wasn't already in the captain's quarters from wherever it was being stored, along with the alchemical set just purchased.
Sure.
As you get in there, probably carrying the last of the supplies, Clem has asked Ephestrial if Ephestrial is in there where the best place would be set up, like if they would like to clear off a desk or if they'd like to bring a table in, use the cabinet or the cupboard as a makeshift work lab, and kind of get Ephestrial's preference on that, and then begin setting up the supplies.
Yeah, he probably would have cleared off the desk, lit the lamp, trying to get as much light in here as we can, and kind of gestures for you to lay everything there. And maybe even to push it towards the center of the room so everyone has easier access.
I absolutely have no issue doing so, which is probably what you walk in on, Lena. And there's probably like 5 to 10 minutes or so of Clem getting a bunch of the like their herbalism equipment out and setting what would be useful on the table, in addition to getting the specific cooking supplies that were purchased by Festeel with the intention of using them as makeshift alchemical supplies and trying to jury rig some of the more complex alchemical equipment out of that. Because I don't believe we have a proper alchemy set, correct?
I purchased an alchemist supplies.
you did?
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. In which case, I am also taking that out. The cooking equipment is probably then used mostly as like storage containers, backups, like extra little bowls, metal bowls set out for specimens and that kind of thing. You probably have 5 to 10 minutes, the two of you, if there's a scene or a moment you would like.
Lena would say, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, where she's at right now, if Vern has been kind of sequestered into the little makeshift nest, like how good is her eyesight? Like, I know it's practically non-existent, but
she has blind sight like 10 feet. So within 10 feet, if it's noticing things like movement, sound, smell, that kind of thing, it's really on point. The runic bandages do give some form of almost synesthetic sight as well within that range. But beyond that, probably not very good. It starts to peter off really fast.
okay, so she wouldn't. Yeah.
The way that we have talked about it and the way that I've been running it is, you know how the two of us see without our glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she might not notice because he hasn't really made like a big gesturing motion about it, but he's not wearing his headscarf. His hair is kind of unruly, so the details of his ears are covered still for the most part, but he keeps like watching you and Clem to see if either of you even say anything.
Clem at one point, as they like turn to look at the two of you, just kind of passively would go, "Oh, Festeel, if you're removing the headscarf, which is not a bad idea, as we will be dealing with fire, and I don't wish it to catch on fire, you may wish to take your hair and pull it back. I have a ribbon here somewhere if you'd like to tie it up with that."
Sure.
Vern is probably very intently staring at Festeel, but Lena doesn't appear to have any kind of current vision link with them.
And on the note of fire, he's also like taken off his gloves, rolled up his sleeves, and that is more or less what would kind of give him a way of being kind of trying to be nonchalant, but also like realizing that he's kind of revealing himself a little bit.
Clem has a piss poor perception, so I'm gonna roll to see, because like you would notice the headscarf is that like that's something that she would be aware of, but I'm gonna see. No, I wouldn't notice for that. Like Clem just doesn't comment on it, whether or not they see it or not. You're not really sure, but Clem wouldn't comment on anything.
That's a 3.
That is a 3. Leaving more of the heavy lifting to the other two. Festeel will go and sit down and maybe pet Vern.
Vern, I would say, absolutely likes pets.
So I have a very important question for the three of you.
Yes.
Which one of the three of you has opened the briefcase?
Probably me, as I'm setting things up.
Cool. You don't need... Knowing your strength and knowing your background, especially with your herbalism proficiency, you notice immediately one of the seed pods has started sprouting.
Is it still contained within its dish, within its
Within its little
folder?
baggie,
Okay, okay.
little. They're like tiny little linen, like cotton / linen bags.
Okay, they are cotton. They are cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. But
Before,
yeah.
yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Does the alchemy set that we have come equipped with tongs?
Yes.
In which case, I would very gingerly take the tongs and grab the sprouting bag, and I would set it in one of the metal dishes. I would then probably make just a very basic cleaning solution and pull out a very stained looking rag from my herbalism kit and wipe down the entire area near where that was set in.
Okay.
Probably like a vinegar solution of some kind.
Mm-hmm. From what you can tell as you're handling it, it looks like a couple days worth of sprouting at most, which immediately is going to strike you as a bit odd because the exterior of the pod looked, for
Dead.
lack of a better, yeah, I was gonna say looked dead.
I have it noted down as several dead seed pods,
Yep.
so
Yep.
definitely. Clem would, after you would all maybe, you two would maybe notice, maybe Ephestia more than Lena, because Vern's distracted at the moment. But Ephestia would notice Clem. Maybe the reason that they don't comment on your reveals is because they seem very focused and intense about something as they gingerly set something in one of the metal dishes, and then they go about wiping off everything on the inside. Out of care and concern, they would then do the same thing with the others that aren't sprouting and set them in separate dishes as well. Afterwards, kind of letting out a okay. Be careful. It seems as though those what were thought to be inert seeds have begun sprouting and will likely require more observation than we were initially intending.
Did the location in the briefcase that they came from have any kind of label?
If I remember correctly, it was this was the briefcase that came from the ship, correct?
Correct.
Then in that case, and then not talking to you, this correct. If that is correct, if this is the one that came from the ship, which I do recall it being, then it was not labeled particularly other than it being in the lab area.
Should we try to grow it and see what it becomes? Do you think it would have good reagents?
Have some concerns about what it might be, and we will have to see. If it is growing when thought was dead, there are a few answers. One, it could have been an inert seed. Inert seeds have the potential, if given the right environment, moisture, nutrients, soil, it may grow. I would not expect a bag to be able to do that, but it is possible that an inert seed can still sprout. The other option is significantly more disturbing, in that whatever was done to these seeds as part of the experiment that we have no more information on is now taking effect and is causing it to grow past its normal period of viability, which would stand to reason if we're taking it into consideration with the growth that we have found on the various mold and other fungal growths around here. They grow from death in particular. I think there's a chance that whatever is growing out of that seed is not the seed itself. But that
wonder if
will
all
remain
the-
to be seen.
I wonder if all the salt and the like on the boat kept it from growing.
It's possible, though unlikely. It's more likely that the humidity, it seems as though wherever that ship came from was colder than wherever we are now. It's hard to really say. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any more information until we experiment.
Of course. I'm wondering, since that ship did not come from Kartakas, if something in the air, something different in the environments between the two might be actually making it react.
Yes,
If they were all
that is
dead before.
That's my concern as well. You and I are along the same thoughts, Hephaestion. Captain, my apologies.
Oh, please. You can drop the formality for a little bit.
As you wish, Captain. Sorry, habit. I suppose. Looks at Lena, then looks at Hephaestion. What is Hephaestion's demeanor?
Timid.
Timid. I'm gonna double check, because I think I'm also just gonna roll. This is for my sake. Okay.
Oh,
Coming in hot.
Hephaestion, you seem a bit distracted. You alright?
Yeah, apologies. I know we're supposed to be on topic here, but there's something that has been bothering me. I just wanted to maybe finally address what had happened a while ago with Juji while I have you two here. If you don't
Tom
mind.
cocks an eyebrow at, and then remembers and then nods, giving the hand forward for you to go ahead.
They, the reason I panicked so much is because they commented on, well, this, and he motions to his arms, where you can see his gray speckled skin pattern. I feel terrible I haven't been forthcoming with you all, and well, that's kind of been slowly peeling back. A little at a time. It's not something I usually like to talk about, but at this rate, you two are the last to know, and maybe if I can get over my fear of it, then perhaps we can move on.
Clem looks at Lena, trying to see Lena's reaction before they respond.
it takes them, it seems like, a little while to understand what exactly was being gestured at, but it seems like they honed in on it. They do seem like they care, but they do seem a little, maybe it's due to any number of reasons, but they don't seem particularly affected by it at all. They seem rather nonchalant about this showing off, although they are paying very much attention to Hephaestion at the moment.
I think in a similar vein, Clem kind of furrows their brow and kind of looks between the two of you. I'm sorry, I don't wish to be rude, but you are not from here. Is that not something normal of your people?
No, absolutely not. I wish I had more information. I really don't. I've been trying my entire life to figure out what had happened, but typically it causes a lot more trouble than it's worth, so I don't make it known, and I haven't in, well, really ever. And Juji commenting on something that they shouldn't have known about, it scared me, and I reacted a bit, well, I overreacted, I think, and I definitely didn't want to address it then, and I'm struggling to address it now, but
You said you've traveled with Juji before, correct? The group of you?
I didn't know.
No, you did not. Well, apologies for my misunderstanding. Regardless, Juji is a stealthy individual. Taught me much of what I know, and taught Omen much of what they know. Not that I am particularly good at recreating it, but I understand the concept. I would not be surprised if they merely spied it when you were not expecting them to. But they are mysterious, and it's hard to really say in regards to Juji. But I don't wish to dismiss the gravity in which you are telling us. If this is a great deal to you, then it is important for me to recognize that. However, on our first meeting, I believe I revealed a very similar affliction of my own. As they reach up and they uncuff one of their sleeves and kind of pull it up. And it's not the same, right? Like yours is a like gray and more speckled, and Clem's is more of like a mossy green, and it's kind of mottled, and there are these like lines, almost like lichen or a fungal growth of some kind, creating these patches on the skin. I believe if any two people are safe to reveal this information, it would be the two of us.
Yeah, I know, and that's why it feels a little weird to have waited so long. I do remember you showing us that.
I vaguely recall you reacting to it. I merely thought you were empathetic, not sympathetic.
Well, yes.
Are you all right? You understand that regardless of the lack of reaction from the two of us, that the act in saying so is still emotionally taxing. Do you need anything?
No, I'll be okay. Getting this off my chest was important, and I think that I'm realizing that I don't have to be as afraid of it here as I was before.
Well, there's a reason I don't show it to the general public, but I don't wish to speak for Lena, and I gesture at you.
I think it would be very counterintuitive and hypocritical if I went about judging you for skin pigmentation or patterning when she just like looks down at her own arms.
Well, and embarrassingly enough, Lena, you were the one that I was the most excited to see out of the rest of them because, well, in a way, I suppose you and I are kin of some sort. And he takes his hair and he, like, tucks it behind his ears, showing the longer shape.
Yes, I can promise you that your average elven individual in Kartakas is not a odd shade of green.
No, nor, partially gray like I am, but it's still nice to know that there's more of us around.
Well, now I feel bad for Branson. He's the only one without pointy ears.
You know, something tells me he probably doesn't care.
He does have snake-like qualities. Do you think he has ears, or are they just holes on the side of his head?
Well, maybe he'll show you if you ask nicely.
I am rather curious now. I think I will. But I'll do that. That's a dinner topic.
It's just a dinner topic. It's like we're all eating. It's like, Branson, do you have ears?
That is 100% a dinner topic.
Are they ears or head holes? I need to know. The fangirls are chomping.
Vestiel, I don't wish to make light of your stress, and I do wish to thank you for your trust in me. I know we have known each other scant but a week or two, a fortnight at most.
Oh, I just appreciate all of you being so, I guess a lot more welcoming than the crowds I'm used to.
Does a mildly theatrical, like, bow into a curtsy.
But, enough about me. Let's try to change the subject, okay?
How technical do you want me to get on the alchemy?
The sounds of crickets fill the air.
Yeah, Clem kind of looks between the two of you. Right, a starter course. I will say, and I will preface this with, Rivka knows significantly more than I, and if you wish to understand the magical side of poultices and potions, they are the person to go to. However, I am rather practiced and am rather studied by their hand at the basic equipment side of things. I can mix a good, mush with the best of them. This here is an alembic, an athanor, a brazier, crucible. This is a different kind of crucible. You probably know this: mortar and pestle, a retort, a sand bath, and this is a showpiece. They gesture at a like kind of dish with a glass top, used for displaying whatever it is that we are observing. They all have a rather large amount of intricacies as for the way that they work together. But to put it simply, the alembic is what you will be used to refine substances, and aludel, which is another form of subliming part of some kind, is very often used for refining or melting down materials that are harder to work with than simply boiling them in water, which is the purpose of an alembic. This brings us to a brazier, a small controlled flame, usually in a container of some kind, and used to cook what it is that we will be needing to cook, which brings me to the athanor. This is a type of steaming pot. If you've ever seen a smoker of some kind that's used for cooking meat, it has a similar, or an oven that's used for baking pottery. It has several different entrances, one for the brazier, one for our materials, and a lid to lift off. Which then further brings me to a crucible. This is where we will be working and melting hard materials, stone and the like. I have rarely used a crucible in my time. It is rather unnecessary for herbalism work, but I do know that within alchemy, its uses are, limitless as far what you wish to melt together. It's used for making something called an alloy or a mixture, which is where two substances are brought together as one. The process of this is called cupellation, I believe, and it refers to the metallurgy side of things. Again, metal and stone is not my forte. There are multiple different kinds of crucibles you may need if we come across a particularly stubborn material. We may need a sand crucible of some kind. The last few items here are rather specific. This is a glass retort. It's the other side of an alembic, and it is used for gathering liquid or steam and or condensing gases of some kind. So when you boil or bubble something, it creates, I'm sure some of you know this to an extent, but it creates steam off the top. This is used when attached to an alembic for catching that, letting out air, and condensing the substance in the bottom. So this will be used for specifically refining or distillation. This is a stand specific for it, and this brings us to the last item of ours, which is a sand bath. Many of the items that we will be working with are extremely hot and volatile. If you are ever concerned about how something will go or the way something will go, bury it in the sand pot here and pray.
It's
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's as this conversation sort of continues, that I would say that the two of you, Ephestial and Lena, start to get a sense for not only how to use the equipment, but what you might use it for. I imagine between the three of you, the conversation continues. Questions are sort of thrown out. Perhaps you might even, given some of the, I would say the samples that you can easily pick up from, just your own kit, right? Clem, using a bit of a demonstration. The three of you are able to sort of get what I would say would be a ground level's worth of understanding, and I would say that this probably takes you a couple hours to do so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The basic overview is just like, here are the terms that we're going to be using for like alchemy stuff, and to make sure. But beyond that, it's a lot of questions. It's a lot of like, yeah, absolutely.
And I would say, while it doesn't necessarily grant Lena or Ephestial a proficiency at this time, you're definitely getting a step closer to being able to do that. And it's in this moment where I want to sort of pan the camera away for just a moment, checking in on first Branson. Branson, Sasha has been showing you their fair share of card games. There's a couple under their belt that they know from like two different people, that can be played 1v1, right? And with a 15, and I'm gonna carry that 15 over, you find yourself pretty evenly matched. And there reaches a point where the novelty of it all sort of begins to die down, and Sasha will hand you the cards back and sort of nod, going, for someone who never plays, you hold your own pretty okay.
Branson will just shrug. I've been told I have a thing for observation and details.
For that, can definitely see. Keep messing around with it. I'm sure it won't take long before you could go past anybody with these. And they will promptly kind of give you a pat on the shoulder before hopping down the crow's nest. Leaving you sort of by yourself at this point. What would Branson be doing?
I would say Branson would just kind of get down and then see if there was any work that needed doing, or if anyone saw him now out and about would just be like, "Hey, Branson, come help with this." And if not, he'd just kind of patrol the ship until someone says it's dinner time.
Sure. And I would say to that point, what has Rosvan been doing this entire time? Oh, I don't think Zan's here.
Cat is fighting me to unmute. Okay. It's like fighting my cat, hitting my hand when I was trying to unmute. Rosvan would have been on the front of the deck,
Okay.
keeping the sword at his front and kind of reflecting and, let's say, plotting silently to himself.
Sure. Branson, go ahead and roll me an insight check. And my question is, Rosvan, are you trying to hide any
No.
of that? All right, cool.
19.
What can Branson read on Rosvan on a 19?
A perhaps uncharacteristic amount of focus and lack of whimsy that is normally accompanied to your writer friend, perhaps.
I would say Branson would keep an eye out, but like he both knows the like oath that Razvan made a few nights ago, as well as caught the tail end of the conversation they were having with Klim that bled into their conversation with Lena. So he will give Razvan a space, especially since he seems much more focused and he's like basically in training mode. But if he sees anything that he could like help with, like that, finally got that out of my throat. But if he sees anything that like he could give a pointer on in just basic form, because he's self-taught, so he only has so much knowledge of actual fighting. But he would help if he is noticed something that really needed it.
That is fair. I think Rosvan's mostly just trying to clear his mind and focus on what the next task ahead is.
And as Branson, you give the space to Rosvan and sort of move about the ship, you do hear the sounds of conversation coming from the captain's quarters. You can kind of hear bits and pieces of the demonstration that Clem is giving.
Okay.
But other than that, as far as Branson goes, I don't think anyone has even started prepping a meal either. So you kind of get the sense that you have this entire ship to yourself in the moment. And I think this would be for the first time if Branson would notice this, and I'll leave that up to you, where you realize just how combination of empty and also large this ship is, right? With just one person standing on the deck.
I would say, noticing that, Branson would at least try to go down and like he would check the hull. Also, probably put away the carpentry tools that he got for the sake of shipwriting. Try to put them in a central location, and probably see if Juji is up to anything.
Again, they last were depicted, and this is still true. Rummaging around in the cabinets down in the kitchen area.
Are you looking for something?
That depends on who's asking.
He will just gesture at himself as they are the only two in the room.
Well, let's just say I'm trying to make sure that certain things don't get on board.
Branson will think for a second. Ah. Fair enough. And then he will just leave him to it because Branson has also done that occasionally, so he's not going to judge.
Yep. And as you're putting things away, we once again reconvene, the trio having had their full lesson. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the demonstration and all of the knowledge that is not only shared but absorbed does make for a rather tired, if not exhausted, brain. There's only so much knowledge a person can hold in a time frame. I ask the three of you, how do you close your session together?
Clem would so I think this is maybe a fun way to do this. I'm gonna roll my herbalism kit and to try to give an example and try to show like the process from a very basic standpoint, and then Clem would ask you two to try to mimic that. So I want to see how well you do. I really want y'all to roll better than me. 19.
Herbalism would be, I believe, a wisdom.
Oh, wisdom.
Is it?
That-
Is it? I don't.
I have it
I
written as
actually don't know
I have
what
it as
the-
intelligence under mine. Usually with
Okay.
kits and with equipment of some kind, it kind of depends on how the person is using it and in what context they're using it. So it really is up to you what check you think is appropriate. I have it as intelligence because for Clem it is really just a knowledgeable kind of thing, not an intuition kind of thing.
I'm gonna look to see. Hold on.
Yeah, because I also have an herbalism kit, and mine is listed under a wisdom attribute. I don't know if that's like a specific spellcasting thing. Or like,
I'm about to look actually, but in
Yeah.
the meantime, since you have the herbalism kit, go ahead and
I
roll
will
it.
just roll that because I got one. That's an 11.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, he's out of practice.
What I'm trying to figure out, because I don't believe Lena has that. What I am trying to identify.
Oh, what are you trying to locate? Sorry.
There's
Do
no
you
set
have-
attribute, yeah, generally.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine if there was a set attribute for certain kits, and I don't believe there is.
No, it's usually something called by the DM that fits the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then-
Yeah,
yeah,
it's either
I
the
think-
situational or skill based, like what that person's particular penchant for that is.
I think in this particular instance, I think in this particular instance, I am going to call it wisdom. So Lena, if you don't have an herbalism kit, go ahead and roll me a wisdom check.
Yeah,
If it is wisdom, that would make mine an 18, just to be clear.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't have herbalism kit. From the feat chosen, I did get alchemist supplies proficiency.
Yeah, this would be this specifically is herbalism based
Okay.
because it's Clem teaching what Clem knows, if that makes sense.
Ah, gotcha.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So I will roll straight wisdom then. Ooh, let me swap name. Nope. There. That'll be 14.
So Ephestial, I correct me if I'm wrong. Ephestial is tired.
Tired and probably distracted a little. off
Yeah,
his game.
just a bit. So I feel like it makes sense that he is unable to replicate it quite exactly. Lena seems to be, for a first time though, seems to be getting the hang of it.
Well, I feel like these skills will translate rather well to your understanding of alchemy. I can only teach you both so much. I recommend practicing this once or twice just to familiarize yourself with the equipment. But there is very little more I can teach you. I'm of course happy to provide context information and or what knowledge I have on the local flora, fauna, and minerals here, but I cannot offer more than that, I'm afraid.
I will definitely bother you about that at some point, but thank you. It's been a while, but I'm glad Lena's getting the hang of it pretty quickly.
Yeah, some of the uses of these plants and things reminds me of making poultices and the like when out in the woods. Some of it's kind of fitting a little bit.
I have a really important question.
Yeah.
As you guys are putting your equipment away, what do you do with the seedling?
Does the alchemist or the herbalism or the alchemist kit that buy or any of the stuff that we have, does it come with a display case of some kind?
It seems like the way that things were set up, it is just the briefcase and all of the little cotton and or linen bags.
Mm-hmm.
This seems very like for for purposes of travel and for organization. Go ahead and all three of you can go ahead and do this for me. Go ahead and roll me. I think in this case it's going to be flat intelligence.
Would nature apply here or just flat intelligence?
This is flat intelligence.
Yeah, okay. That's a 7 from Opestiel. That's a 10 from me. Oh, a 17. I don't know why I clicked it twice.
Okay. And Lena?
Let's see, intelligence. Oh, okay.
17. So I don't know why the what justification, and I will leave this up to the three of you. Festial, unfortunately, you don't really pick up on this, but Lena and Clem, you both sort of pick up on the sense of like, these specimens were never supposed to be alive. Right? Like, I mean, that makes sense considering you found them all dead. And you get the sense that these were never meant to be on display. Whoever was the literal briefcase itself is a leather bag, right? With a lot of clasps. It's hard, it's sturdy, it's despite its age, looks like it was created with the intent to withstand extensive travel. Whoever had this did not have any intention clearly to, shall we say, put them on display, but to collect them for some sort of purpose, which you can only assume based on what you saw on the ghost ship was for study.
In that case, I think the three of us kind of... actually, I'll pass this to Opestiel and Lena. What do y'all think gives it away for you? Like, what do you think is the thing that stands out the most for you two?
I know in his case he's kind of on the fence about keeping it out because the specimen bag was also very specifically of like poisonous and dangerous, potentially very dangerous substances and plants. So I think his call would probably just put it back in the bag.
There's a part of Lena that wants to... There's a part of Lena that wants to grow it because a lot of these reagents in this bag are non-replicatable. But that seed now could be. Meaning, like, currently we have a very finite amount of resources to work with. But at least if this grows and if anything else in there we could potentially culture and grow in a safe, like, container, we could potentially have renewable sources of at least some of these materials.
I worry about whatever it is that we would be growing from this seed, Lena. I would hesitate to culture it too much and to try to propagate it before we fully understand what it is. I look around the room. Is there an oil lantern of some kind in here?
I believe the only option for a lantern is the one hanging from the ceiling.
Okay. I would know about the other ones as I kind of look up towards that lantern, and I'm gonna actually exit and go grab one from another room where there are two, and come back with it. And it is put out, and I am going to take the dish that has the strange growing seed in it, and I'm going to set it inside the glass of the lantern and latch it closed.
I will make a note then. Would you take it from based on the map here, would you take it from the main room of the hall or the empty room?
Probably the empty room.
Okay. Just a note for myself for later. Yeah. And as far as you're concerned, it is now contained inside the lantern.
Festiel, do you wish to keep these supplies in here with you?
That's probably best. So no one's tempted to mess with them. Not that I believe anyone would, but you never know.
That's a good point. Festiel, once again, I know that it has been some time as we've been studying, but I again wish to thank you for trusting, well, us, I gesture at Lena as well, with the knowledge of your affliction. I understand what it means to trust someone in that capacity, and you are not alone. If you wish to discuss any more, I'll always be here.
Of course. And if anything, we always have another material we can study too. And she would just like reach up to one of her arms and probably like take one of the tiny burrs like off of her arm and just like break it off, kind of like breaking off like a nail or something, and just like hold it up, be like, we can always just look at ourselves too.
Yes, perhaps when we get a bit further in our studies, we can all culture our different afflictions and see how they interact.
And don't worry, that
nothing will
hurt.
go wrong.
That didn't hurt. That was like clipping a fingernail. It's fine.
Y'all are intense.
I was being facetious.
I was being truthful. Like.
So Ophistiel watches her do that, and his eyes kind of get big all of a sudden. And then when she said that it didn't hurt, he's like, oh, "Okay," but like, yeah, maybe you two will. I don't think that's gonna garner anything in my case. I kind of already know what it is. It's more or less of how, but I do appreciate having anyone to talk to about this at all. It's been quite a few years.
No one should have to garner a burden like that alone.
But,
That being said, I do believe I smelled Branson cooking.
oh
So
no.
I'm going to go with help.
Uh-oh.
Is he?
Cooking is a strong word. Branson is boiling.
Cooking is a word.
I'm just imagining that scene from, like, I forget which Marvel movie, but it's just Captain America going, "We boiled everything. Food's better now."
As I guess the lot of you, would one of you like to do a cooking utensils check?
I am going to assist. I do not have any proficiency with that kind of thing, nor do I have good stats for that. So I'm going to go help. That's about it.
Yep. Nobody?
Uh,
About to say,
Lena
I'd say-
would offer help if needed.
I guess Branson will do it because I think he's the only one who had regular like kitchen duty as part of growing up.
Yep.
So what should I
Alright,
roll?
So this is gonna be. If you don't have the proficiency, this is gonna be an intelligence check. You do have advantage because you've got help.
11.
11. I would say you probably make a very easy stew. It is edible for the record. It is passable. Clearly not made by a savant of any kind. But as the five of you are, settled down, meal has been served, is there anything else that you would like to do before the end of the day fully comes and goes?
I'd say after they were done eating, before everyone parts ways, Hephaestion's gonna find Razvan.
Where is he?
Rosvan, electing not to eat would have been still at the bow of the ship. Now taking a more kneeled gesture, head hung low, and kind of praying as you approach.
I hate to interrupt. I noticed you didn't join us for dinner. Is everything alright?
You hear him kind of muttering a prayer before he kind of becomes a bit more loud with it. Blood of my blood, listen and know. From all of the cries of the unheard to the ears of the uncaring, I pray, let my eyes be unblurred and let my sword be unerring until all the tyrants are run low. He will take a deep breath out before finding purchase upon his feet and turning to face you, Hephaestion.
He is listening to your prayer, and he's a little, apprehensive about what kind of state mentally Razvan's in, but he steels himself. You know, things have been awfully, tense lately. Would you mind if I showed you something? Maybe to take the edge off a little bit.
What do you mean?
I've been working on something, and I think you of all people here might appreciate it. If you trust me, that is.
I trust you with my life, Hephaestion. Show me what you wish to show me.
He starts to whisper words that you don't understand into his hands. And in doing so, a kind of soft, dusty light enters, and he takes that and gestures to move it onto the floor, and you see little swirls of light then turning into the shape of creatures, taking final form in a grouping of 3 cats as he casts Conjure Animals, which I will pop in there. And as they manifest, they all look a little bit different from one another, but there are now, in fact, 8 cats sitting on the bow of the ship. And he picks one up, and he hands it to you.
A slight smile will kind of break the more stern expression on his face. I always thought I would like dogs more. But cats, they have a certain elegance to them that I admire.
Well, I've seen the way you look at Juji, so reading you as a catman was not really that hard, but I don't know, you seem like you could use something to take the edge off a little bit, so
So, I don't want to interrupt the role play. I'm so sorry. I need from Hephaestial a D100.
oh boy. Wait, oh, wrong tab. Okay, hold on. I remember how this works. Bloop. 50.
Okay, good to know. Please continue.
In times of old, far before the blood of my father and my mother coursing through the world, there was a tradition, a code of honor, one that I wish to return to in some part. Razvan's going to kind of lower his head garments and offer a dagger to you, Ovestio.
Um, he will take it. Thank you. Although, weapons are not really something I tend to, have much use for, but I will consider it a gift.
It is not necessarily for you to use as a weapon, but as a tool. For in this ancient time now bygone, when one would declare war, a noble, a knight, or a king, they would cut their hair and give it to that of which they would declare war against. If you would, my dear friend Festir, I wish for you to cut my hair, so that I may declare war in the old way.
He kind of bows to you with that. As you wish, Sir Razvan. And he will go ahead and take his hair and trim it.
Kind of bringing it into a ponytail, he'll hold the lock kind of close to him, looking a bit more steeled. The cats do bring a softness back to him, but you still see he is very determined. Thank you, Ophestia.
Your new resolve is admirable, I think.
I fear that my new resolve is necessary.
Perhaps. But no matter how dark things get, you always have to remember to find the joys in life as well.
Perhaps. But when we walk upon the streets of Skald, when we find various towns we have encountered, I have found very little joy. Lo, as I have tried to bring joy to them, I fear there is a thumb rather heavily pressed against their throats that keep them from finding joy. And until that thumb is severed, I fear I also do not feel the joy. At least not yet.
Perhaps. But I'll tell you, as somebody who also came up in this world with nothing, you can find it if you look.
If I want to find joy, I am certain of Estia. All I need to do is open my heart to you and our crew, and I will find it again. I find myself in a unique position not wanting to find it. This anger is palpable. The whines of the unheard have gone as such for too long. I don't feel comfortable ignoring it.
I understand. I wouldn't ask you not to, not if it bothers you so much. But no matter what happens, I feel like I can speak for everyone else as well as myself, but we have your back. And if you ever need anything, then I insist you come to me.
He'll look a bit more sympathetically for a moment. Far less callous. I'll tell you what. He'll pick up one of the cats. I'll focus on this for a little while. Now, is there anything else, my captain?
No, that's all. He kneels down, starts speaking to the cats. All right, everyone, huddle up. I need you to show all of your affection towards Rosvan, okay? No biting, no scratching, just be nice and cute. And with that...
Where did they come from?
Oh, relax, Juji. They're only temporary.
This is my ship.
Festival will walk down, and, is he in human form or cat form?
Oh yeah, it's still in humanoid form, but like if a human could have their haunches raised.
He kinda takes him and just kinda shoves him.
Okay, a shove?
Like not a shove, but more like a, hey, we're gonna walk this way.
Go make me a strength check.
This will be hilarious. Okay. My useless arms, that's a 2.
Juji's not budging. This is like if you ever try to pick up a cat that does not want to be picked up.
Why are there other cats on my ship?
Listen, they're not real. They're not going to last for very long. You don't need to worry about anything.
You don't know that.
I
Where
do.
did you get them from?
I made them, Juji. I made them.
Why? Why would you do that?
I did it for Rosvan.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I mean, he's not lying.
No, that's why I said a persuasion check. I didn't say deception. I said persuasion.
That's a 19.
Well, then why didn't you ask me if you wanted a cat?
Listen, Juji, from one, I suppose, animal shifter to another, it is a little awkward when you take both the form of a man and a beast.
Am I supposed to just take that?
You will, because I'm telling you to. Now let's go downstairs.
No! In fact, I don't think I will, and I think, in fact, because you asked me to go downstairs, I will instead go up.
And they will proceed to move towards the crew.
Kaz,
Yes.
I need you to do this for me, okay?
Okay.
Scruff him.
Oh my god, the power in that.
I can't scruff if
Sure you
people-
can.
They
Sure
were
you can. I
not
believe.
Grapple check. You can try.
I believe.
Oh my god. Okay. But before he scuttles up into
Quick
the
reminder to anyone in chat: do not scruff your adult cats.
Do
It does
not-
actually hurt them.
Yeah, but he's not in cat form right now.
he is not
Which
in
is why
cat
it's
form
funny.
right now. It is funny. Okay, he'll try to grab him at the neck.
Athletics check.
Oh boy. That's an 11.
Hold on, this is competing because it's a grapple check. Give me like 2 seconds.
I'm like, my strength stat is going to come in clutch at the weirdest time, and if this is that time, I'm gonna die.
Oh my fucking god. Aggressor wins. You reach out and with precision, like despite your dinky little arms, your precision is honed in, and you hear a eep as you've scruffed, you've grabbed by the collar, Juji. You better let go.
It's like, I need you to stop behaving like a child.
I am not a child, so don't call me one.
Well, you're acting like one, so what do you expect?
I am a... It's my ship, and you added other felines to my ship.
Excuse me, your ship?
Yes, my ship, I live here.
Well, it also happens to be my ship, and I said they can stay. Again, they're temporary, Juji. They're not going to be here for any more than an hour.
Don't insult me. You didn't
And
ask for my opinion.
And I don't have to. He lets him go.
He's gonna go exactly as before. Go tromp up and sulk in the crow's nest.
Go pout in the crow's nest. You'll be fine later.
Branson,
You
get
do
the
hear
spray
that from the crow's nest, by the way.
Branson, get the spray bottle.
And those of you who are elsewhere on the deck, you also hear this. It's not like they're being quiet. It's not like they're being quiet.
Branson, may I volunteer you for cleaning dishes with me downstairs?
Sure.
I think we kind of vaguely hear that going on upstairs as the conversation's going. Is there any more y'all want to do with that scene? Because I don't want to just fully interject.
No,
Like
but I
a
can tell you
cat-
what happens to the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something that you notice that you weren't originally paying attention to, a Festial, that strikes you off guard. You've summoned 8 cats, and each of them has a shadow that is just a bit too long and a bit too narrow. You watch as 3 of them start climbing up the front mast. And even as the shadow creeps down the mast itself, there is something a bit too oblong, too uncanny, too, I don't know, not right. As the length of the shadow set by the setting sun behind the clouds. Something isn't right. As another 2 of them begin to tromp down the stairs and begin to head towards the ropes. And the remaining 3 perch themselves upon the bow. To the normal eye, they look like they're loafing, but something in the flick of the tail is a bit too angular, a bit too gnarly, a little bit too jointed for your tastes. But please continue.
I'm sorry. Did you say that he noticed any of that or not?
Oh yeah, 100%. Now that
Okay.
now that you're not dealing with either Juji, and now that you're not having a discussion with Razvan, you notice that. You notice all of that. You watch it happen.
He'll go and follow the ones trying to climb up the mast and mess with the ropes and kind of re-wrangle them.
Animal handling check.
Do. Oh, I can read. That's a 20.
It's really difficult. Even on a 20, you find it very difficult. And the thing that strikes you almost entirely is the fact that you have to rely more on persuasion than you can strength, as trying to pull them from the mast feels like trying to pull iron from a grate. But nevertheless, you do so. And doing so is exhausting. I see what you're messaging. I see what you're messaging.
I know. That's just for group consideration. I'm not wanting to interrupt.
Yep. Please continue.
Yeah, Ophestil kind of sits in the middle of the deck, and he's also, you know, he's petting the cats, trying to get them to stay put with him, as he enjoys some fresh air, as it's getting dark. Has been dark, I suppose. Probably ready to go to bed as soon as they vanish.
Mm-hmm. And our camera pans down. Said Branson and Clem were in the kitchen.
Yeah, it was just gonna be a real small scene.
Yeah, do it.
I thought it was gonna be wholesome into like of those two talking into that, and then it went creepy route, and so I just wanted to let it sit for a second with the creep before I went on to our scene.
Absolutely. The camera pans down.
Yeah, I think, unbeknownst to Clem and Branson about the goings on upstairs, I think we're just kind of cleaning, and Clem would look towards Branson. Branson, may I ask you a couple personal questions?
He'll be like, yeah, yes, sure, go on. And I would also note that if he's washing dishes, he's taken off his gauntlets, so you can see his scaled back of his hands and his like almost talon-like claws.
How common are these traits where you're from? And gestures at the scales.
You'll watch he kind of like lets out a bit of a sigh, and like doesn't even really look, but he doesn't like give off a sense of apprehension. He just goes, "That is a mixed bag of questions. I don't know much about my people other than what I've read in books, seeing as I never met my actual parents. But Yonti, as we are called, do not typically exist in nature. They are created and their later progeny turn out like..." He just gestures at himself.
Clem's eye goes a little wide. You were once, or your people were once human.
That is as far as I'm aware, but they aren't fully understood. I am told I was very much an irregularity, being born as far inland as I am.
And yet your magic, or yet not your magic, magic made your people what you are now.
As far as I'm aware, yes.
I'm just kind of nod slowly, kind of finishing putting some dishes in the dish rack. I believe we may have more in common than I initially had presumed. The goblin. I've heard a little from you all that goblins exist where you come from and are very different. But I've explained briefly before. Our people were also made from magic. Magic came from these lands, but the goblin here were once human as well. I take it there was a certain level of mistrust that came from those in which you traveled towards.
Yes, it is not common to see. Well, he pulls back his hood, and you'll notice that he does not have ear holes or pointed ears. He has just normal human ears. Most assumed I was cursed or some kind of abomination.
Well, that answers the other question I was going to ask you. But I am sorry to hear that. It is a hard thing to no longer have the people in which you come from around, and to be forced to find solace and comfort in those in which you can find.
True, but that was most of what it was like in the caravan. You were part of the caravan. It didn't matter what you were or where you were from.
Clem has a very, distant expression. Like they're remembering something and get kind of lost in that. They don't immediately respond.
Branson will just kind of nudge them and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yes, thank you. Just memories of a time before, of different life. I will do whatever I can to help you find peace, Branson, whatever that means for you.
I thank you. Branson will finish off the last of his dish and pull his gauntlets back on, and then he'll just say, "And if it helps, the past is a country no man can return to. But as I was speaking with Razvan, the present and the future are whatever we make of it. So make of it something good, and it'll be pleasant for you." And then he'll just kind of nod and head out.
As you head out, Clem just to themselves. But those who do not understand the past will, no doubt, inevitably repeat their mistakes. And they get back, they start cleaning the kitchen, like the post dishwashing, like sweeping and that kind of thing. And that's where we leave Clem.
As the five of you finish your conversations and your moments, the night fully creeps over, the sun fully setting, and we begin the first watch. Are we, as a crew, maintaining the same watches that we did beforehand? Or who is going first?
I would say unless we had a situation kind of like the boss fight, Branson just falls into the usual order of being first.
And is everyone else retiring to their bunks?
I think Razvan will sleep on the deck, kind of taking more of a soldier's pose, sitting and leaning against the main mast to try and find sleep.
I think, given the circumstances, not eating and then choosing to sleep in that position, I think I'm going to require a Constitution saving throw from Razvan.
You got it? On
a 12, you do find rest. It is not good rest, but it is still rest, and thus you do not gain a point of exhaustion. Anyone else? Or is it just Branson during the first watch?
Omen, Clem is very used to just sleeping through the night and letting Omen kind of keep watch.
Sure.
But in this case, I think Omen would just be perched on the top deck and just watch Razvan sleep.
Okay. Then with that in mind, Branson, go ahead and roll me some perception checks.
Will do. That's a 20.
Natural or unnatural 20. So on an unnatural 20, the first thing that you're going to notice is within the first hour of your shift, one of the ships that is docked, well, not docked, I'm sorry, that is anchored in the line before you in the night lights the lanterns on its top deck, pulls up its anchor, and pushes off. They seem to turn, and you watch as they sail by your ship and move deeper towards the cauldron.
All right.
Go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Okay. 13.
13. Your eye still somewhat trained on the light, drifting down further and further the Sing Song River. You find yourself really not spotting anything, not really hearing anything either, just the steady thumping of waves against the side of the boat. Would you say on a 13 in this moment, is Branson distracted, or what is he thinking about?
I'd say he's probably keeping an eye on Razvan, because typically, like, he only has to worry about anything that would come up on the deck, but now he's actually protecting something on the deck as well. So he's probably, like, if there's, like, a big enough jostle, he's making sure Razvan doesn't get, like, thrown over.
Mm-hmm. One more perception check.
Will do. I clicked it. Is it going to go through? There it is. 14.
Same as before. Your eyes and ears don't really trace anything. And you do note that your friend is not exactly having the best sleep, but then again, that makes sense, given where he's positioned. The end of your shift comes. It is now time to get the next person.
Alright, I'll say right before he wakes someone up, Branson does go back down to, like, the sleeping area, but instead of waking up the next person to watch, he just grabs the blanket off his bunk, walks back up and just covers Razvan with it, then heads back down to wake up whoever it is next.
And who is next?
I believe a
Go
Festu
ahead.
usually takes second watches, but
It's between a Festial and Clem as they swap between the witching hour and the midnight shifts.
Mhm.
So up to you whether or not you want midnight or witching hour today. This round.
It doesn't matter.
Adventure coin, go! Heads, midnight, tails, witching. That
It's a
is.
Festial.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is tails, witching hours. So Clem will go next.
I said a Festial goes next.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. So Branson,
Mm-hmm.
how do you wake up a Festial?
Branson will just originally try by just like giving a not like a cop knock, but a good thump knock on the captain's quarters door.
It
Festial.
probably takes a little bit more than just a tiny knock to wake him up this time, because he's very tired.
Then probably after like a moment more of silence than what's usual, he would just call out, "Captain."
Mm, what? What time is it?
It's just shy of the witching hour.
Got it. I'm coming.
He'll just also be like, "Roswan's taken to sleeping on the deck for the night. I've made sure he won't catch a cold, but you may want to keep an eye on him."
Oh, all right. Thank you. And before he leaves, he actually will take the little lantern off of his desk and take it up top deck with him. Choosing to keep Perch kind of close by Rosvan, but he will put the lamp close by.
Sure. And go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That's a 10.
The night yet is still quiet. You hear the thundering of the waterfall in the distance. And even in the night, you see mist rising into the air as it crashes into the water below, even as far out as you are. Roll me another perception check, as the first hour is still.
That's in that one for 6.
How would you describe a Festial's thoughts in this moment? Are you distracted? Are you zoned
think-
out?
Maybe it's kind of a lot of, like, overworking his brain. He, had a lot of information taken in, and he can't, like, stop thinking about stuff that they've talked about, stop theorizing, stop thinking about things that they could do in the future. He's just kind of lost in his own head right now.
Do you look over the edge of the balcony at all?
Periodically, yeah, he would check, do like a perimeter check.
And I think, though distracted your mind may be, there is a moment where you notice the water seem to change as it begins to seemingly boil below you, and even the spray of the water as it brushes up against the side of your ship looks, even in the dead of night, red like blood.
Clocking that, he'll actually maybe lean over the railing a little bit, see if he can't get any of it on his hand.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Just proceeds to fall into the lake, the river. Oh, it's a 19.
You hold on to the rigging, and you lower yourself as far over as you can without falling. And sure enough, you get some on your hand, and your hand looks like you just touched a pool of blood.
He smells it. Does it smell like blood?
It does. You even to the point where you feel the taste of iron on the back of your tongue.
They have seen this before, haven't they?
You did when you were all the way out in the cauldron.
Yeah. He doesn't, like, shrug it off, but definitely is not, like, as alarming as it probably would have been without prior knowledge. So he just kind of, like, wipes his hand off on his clothes and...
Your clothes are now, if they weren't already, are now stained.
Yeah, they're
Wherever
already
you
pretty
choose
fucked
to
up.
wipe your hand now has like a long streak of blood on it.
Yeah, he'd just, like, wipe it off on his pants. They're
Fantastic.
a darker fabric, so it's not, like, super obvious, but it's still there.
One last perception check. Finish off the night.
Okay.
Or the shift, rather.
Nat 20.
Perhaps that made you a little more alert. However you would like to frame that for a festial. You think you hear the distant sounds. Yes, even with the crashing of water distant, you think you hear the sound of a low hum. Not like a machine, not like electricity, like a voice. For just a moment. So brief, you're not even sure if it's real. And then it fades. And you realize it is time to wake Clem.
He'll take his lantern back and go. I assume Clem is in the group barracks.
That is a good assumption. Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else they would be. They've slept a few times in the crow's nest, but they wouldn't this night.
Well, a very pissed off Juji is in the crow's nest right now.
Yeah.
He'll go inside and carefully. He'll have to check the beds to make sure he's waking up the right person. But he'll kind of nudge you the beds to make sure he's waking up the right person. But he'll kind of nudge you the beds.
As you nudge Clem awake, something you've seen it before when they first revealed it to you, but I don't know if you would know how like consciously they do it. So as they kind of blink awake, both of their eyes blink open, and you see the left like. It's not milky white. It's like cataract with green tendrils almost is the best way to describe it. And it takes them a second to realize before they consciously close that eye.
Sorry to disturb.
Yes. Is it my time?
It is. Just for your information, I've noticed the waters have started to turn a little red and bloody, which is odd for this area, right?
Correct me if I'm wrong, the river is normally blood, is it not? Or is that just the cauldron?
So, this is gonna require a history check.
Okay. I have it in my notes that it is normally bloody, but I will roll a history check. 18.
It is not normally bloody all the time. There are
Okay.
many
I will correct
moments.
my old
Yeah,
notes
there are
about that.
moments in which it can become bloody, and it can be often bloody, especially at night. But not always.
Is it like a seasonal thing, or are there usually any indicators? Is that something I would be knowledgeable about at all?
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How often does Clem track the phases of the moon?
I think we had discussed this in fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Clem nods, and then they will actually reach into their like larger overrobe is kind of bundled, and they're using it as a pillow. And I kind of reach around in it before pulling out a book and kind of very like squintily angling it in like what little lantern light they can to figure out what phase of the moon it is and whether or not that it should be happening right now.
You are just shy of a full moon.
Clem's eyes go a little wide. I believe I had... it's more that we'd been distracted. The amount of time we had spent out in the cauldron was longer than I anticipated. Tomorrow is very likely a full moon, which means this is not an uncommon occurrence for this time period, but it has alerted to me to the current lunar calendar that we're on. I must have really been distracted. My apologies. We should be careful tonight and tomorrow.
Good to know. Well, I'm going to head back to bed. And for your information, Razvan has decided to sleep above deck, so be mindful.
Yes. Omen told me. I'm a little concerned about his demeanor, but he needs to figure something out for himself. So I am of the mind to let him do so.
I agree.
Thank you for alerting me. I will do my best to keep an eye out.
Alright, thank you. Good night. And he
Rest
will
well.
walk back to his room and go back to bed.
As I get up top, I mentally whistle for Omen and ask them to kind of keep an eye out for me, while I mostly just stay on deck and act as a physical presence.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Duh. $14 from Omen.
You still hear the loud falls a ways away. In the first hour, the only other thing that you notice, and this makes sense because Omen was keeping tabs on this just a little bit as well, but that ship completely out of sight. The one that left.
Is it one we would have recognized?
It was the one that was parked right in front of yours.
Okay.
So it was not necessarily a case of you know this ship, you know this crew, but more so a case of you recognize it because it's been like it was the one that was sitting there.
Yeah, it's in proximity. It's like you notice when the car that you park next to has
Mhm.
moved. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just more of a mental note before the Clem's version of keeping watch is basically just doing rounds around the top of the deck.
Go ahead and roll me another perception check.
As their invisible little fella kind of circles ahead. That's a 6.
Yeah, I think, I will allow you to dictate what the distraction is. I think someone's distracted.
I think I catch Omen at one point, just kind of landed on the deck and just get further just staring at Razvan, and I give like a, what? Can you do another loop for me? And I think Omen just kind of looks at me, kind of half-heartedly flutters over to the other railing, and I just kind of put my hands up, like, and kind of give up for that hour.
Last one.
See whether or not I convince Omen to do another loop. No. Nope.
Something's on Omen's mind.
If you will allow, I will roll a perception check as Clem gives up on Omen being the lookout for
Sure.
the night. 4.
I think the two of you are having difficulties.
Yeah, we're having a spat.
Yep.
That works for me.
And with that, your shift comes to an end.
Normally, I would get Lena, as we've done, as has been the tradition. However, since Razvan is already up on deck and already doesn't look like they're sleeping great, I will check to see if he wants to take watch.
Yeah, Rosson will take watch.
I merely wish to check because I figured another body up here may disturb you, and I recognize a restless spirit when I see one.
It is quite alright. I appreciate the concern and the empathy, but I do not mind taking watch.
Just kind of nods. And I look over at Omen, who's still kind of staying top deck, and though we've been spatting, there's a sort of shared acknowledgement between the two of us. Well, if you need anything, Omen is here, despite me trying to catch a few more winks.
He will nod at Clem. Get some rest, my friend.
I have no advice to give you that you don't already know. Take care, my friend. And I just kind of clasp you on the shoulder before heading downstairs.
Razvan will take a rather large stretch before heading to the bow of the ship.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
22.
You keep an eye and ear out about you, and while the night has largely been calm, for you see something. The thing that catches your eye almost immediately is not necessarily something off the ship, but rather something on, as for a moment, one of the shadows, the masks, right behind you, looks a bit disproportionately long.
He'll try to touch the mast.
You have no issue touching the mast. The mast still feels like wood underneath your fingers. And yet, as your eye looks to the shadows on the ground, you almost don't even see your own as the shadow of the mast grows ever longer and completely overtakes your silhouette, even with your cape blowing in the subtle breeze.
Rosvan's going to put a hand to the hilt of his rapier on his hip, close his eyes for a moment, taking a deep, stealing breath before opening them and emanating a divine sense to detect any evil within 60 feet.
Roll me a D100.
A 1.
Ooh. Okay. On a natural 1 on a D100, I will let you determine what this smells like. As if I remember correctly, it manifests in a smell, correct?
That is often how it is
Yeah.
described.
I will actually let you choose if you would like it to be a different scent, I can go with that. Otherwise, what would Rosvan find to be the most repugnant smell possible?
Rosvan will scent alone, kind of not quite catching as strongly as it can. Instead, forms a bitter, alkaline taste on his tongue. Something too sickening to stomach alone to detect some form of evil, if it is that.
It is. And it is incredibly overpowering.
Rosvan's going to bring out his rapier and kind of just call out, "Who is there? Make yourself known or be gone from this ship."
Your choice, intimidation or persuasion. This will change the response, but it does not change your actions or your words.
We will do intimidation. Fuck it, we're spending inspiration. We're feeling ourselves. 21.
Oh!
On a 21 intimidation, the shadow you see before you, almost like a ever slowly moving current, like a whirlpool, lifts from the shadow of the mast and takes on what we often endearingly referred to as a void. A feline, completely black in coat, with two orange piercing eyes, looks up.
It just seems to be looking.
For now, yes. The posture on your 21 intimidation is not one of aggression, but the ears are back.
State your business or be gone.
There is a pause before the cat blinks, but you hear the voice, distorted, unrecognizable, speak to you in such a way that says, calling. I have heard your calling.
He's going to slowly take a uneasy breath and put the rapier away. I would approach you.
If you would like.
He will walk up to this shadowy mass. Take a uneasy breath again before allowing his fangs to elongate. He's going to try and take a bite from the creature.
You are able to do so, no roll required. And you gain 20 temporary hit points.
Oh, okay.
As you seep the blood from this creature, and it is blood, you feel an immense surge of energy, the gurgling of your stomach now quenched, rejuvenated, as if you slept with the best sleep that you ever had. And as the life drains from this mass, it too becomes frail, limp, until eventually, like liquid itself, it melts back into the shadow on the panes of the ship. But blood still lingers on your lips. And even if you go to touch it, it is very, very real.
He will leave it there, allowing his now heightened senses to just linger for a moment. Blood of my blood. I will honor your call.
And that eats up a good chunk of your watch. Go ahead and roll me one last perception check
12.
with advantage.
Oh. 14.
14. Feeling rejuvenated, your eye comes to the sky for just a moment, and the clouds part. The moon, not quite full, but just close. Just close. Shines over the water, over the ship. You see a colony of bats fly overhead. And while nothing dangerous or alarming seems to be borne witness, you feel as though in this moment, though subtle, though small, something profound has happened in front of you as the clouds then close. And the night grows still until the dawn's light begins to creep up. And it is now morning as dawn breaks. And with that, it's time for a break.
Yeah, break.
Okay. Well, that's hard act to follow.
If I had a nickel for every time in a TTRPG game I was in that a vampire character was deeply associated with cats, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. but it is weird it happened twice.
Oh, the creatures of the night, what lovely songs they sing.
I was imagining one of the cats doing a in the distance.
Fucking yowling. Great scene, Zan. Great scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was all Sarah's. Good work.
Thank you for being for being so on board and so receptive to what I just threw at you. And
Yeah.
also thank you for setting me up.
Yeah.
I am gonna really quickly BRB to get me some more water.
Go right ahead. Also, I would like
Oh,
to thank
same.
Trinket and like to Booyah for the, I want to say 11 gifted subs between you. That is very kind of y'all. Thank you.
Damn.
But hey, chat, yeah. Welcome. Character development is happening. I see Trinket is eating well in chat.
I totally just imagined the whole time all that was happening, just in the background, kind of framed by moonlight, Omen with the two beady eyes just staring as it all happened.
Oh yeah, Omen likes to watch.
Omen likes to watch.
Here's the cuck perch.
Fuck perch.
Oh lord, now I'm just imagining Omen and like fucking Vern fighting over the only perch and it's the cuck perch. Oh. But yeah, no, before we had the like dishwashing scene, I had a whole bit that was just gonna be Branson coming up. Why is there all these cats? And he just screams in Infernal, which is what he curses in. Eventually I'll use my languages. But yeah, chat, I'm glad to see that everyone's enjoying the time. Give me a sec while I just clear some alerts that are going on. There we go. But yeah, no. And this isn't even the scary thing we agreed is probably going to happen on this stream. So I hope you guys are ready. We got some spooks coming. Possibly some scares.
We already have the skeletons, so
Yeah.
we got that covered.
Oh, Trinity's got a good question for Razvan's new look.
What's that?
So now, since Razvan got his haircut to declare war on the bourgeoisie, does he now have it short close to the ponytail or longer close to the front?
I think he would have. Well, there's a name for the cut, but it's a cut that's very commonly used, or was commonly used in the medieval ages for like to wear helmets, like to wear plate helmets.
He just has a mullet.
He just a mullet now, full on mullet.
Yeah.
He went up to a festival and just said, "Fuck my shit up."
And as the yes man as he is. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just
Listen.
imagine Razvan dressed as Joe Dirt.
What's
Listen,
that? Razvan
okay.
got a bowl cut? Wild.
Hey, mullets can be attractive. Joe Dirt is not a good example of that.
Yeah, mullets on lesbians look great.
It's I think it's just called a Norman cut, but it's like it's kind of short on the the center top to the front, and everything else is just kind of shaved.
Oh, the Peaky Blinders cut. Got it.
Yeah, kind of.
Also, Leah, you definitely did kill me. I had to mute. I had to mute myself in OBS instead of on Discord. Just when you said, "Does Branson have ears?" Oh.
actually not. By the way, Rosman's haircut is not dissimilar from my actual legitimate haircut.
Oh, nice.
And it's one of the many haircuts that were used to make it easier to put on like heavy plate helmets.
I am returned with agua.
Welcome back.
Not bloody.
Yeah, I would hope.
You
Nah,
know?
Apestio was like, yeah, I'm gonna give Razvan a wolf cut.
Give him, I say this entirely as a joke, give him a oh my gosh, what is the name of hold on, I gotta look this up because my brain is decided to forget instantly. But as soon as I describe it, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It is called a sakayaki, which was the shaved head for samurai with the
Oh,
bun in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I
Where
thought you were
just
gonna
the
go
top
for
and
pixie
the
cut.
bottom part is shaved.
Razvan with a pixie cut.
See, that's what I thought you were gonna go with it.
Amazing!
It's like Rosman with a pixie cut is. I'm like, oh hell yeah. Let's
Lesbian
do
Razvan?
Apestio, I think it's time for matching bangs. Let's do this.
Are we gonna have a bang phase?
Yeah, we're gonna have a bang
Are we gonna have a
phase.
bang phase?
Crying.
Oh, so you say wolf cut like it's a bad thing?
It's just a bit off-brand for
Maybe.
werewolves.
I'm
versus
not
vampires.
biased or anything.
That's fair.
Meanwhile, Clem with just the perfectly coiffed hair.
Dude, Clem's hair is on point. It's
But
beautiful. I love it.
That's all Citric. Citric was like, "Oh, you
Like,
you,
I got
you want
you."
stylist? Hell yeah!"
Yeah. No, like anytime I doodle Clem, that's like my favorite thing is their lovely, like it's like kind of curly. It's kind of like it's got like a but kind of like a 60s style to it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Meanwhile, we never see. Okay, actually, no. Good question. We never see Branson's hair, but Lena, is it like regularly brushed, or is there like twigs and stuff in there?
I believe
It's
no,
a literal
I believe
nest.
We did talk about this. Isn't it, Skelly? Isn't it a whole on nest up there where Vern hangs out?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
All
got
them
it.
owl talons are really not doing her any favors.
So there's some sections of it that are like you could just like brittle enough you could just like break it off if you came at it a little too firmly.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Also, we do see a bit of Branson's hair, but Branson's hair is just nasty and gross because you think he practices proper hygiene after staying in the woods for 5 years.
I was gonna say he's got that like greasy, straight, neat haircut, doesn't he?
I was gonna say too, like he's a snake, so like greasy is the way to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Yet his skin, fucking perfect. I hate people like you.
No, I was gonna say I
EDS
do
skin.
unironically doodle Branson with like scene kid haircuts.
Hell yeah.
They
I've
always
noticed.
change.
RAR XD.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
And you know those kids don't know what shampoo is.
Oh my god, the ooh, you're so warm makes sense because he's a snake and he needs body heat.
Oh, Lord.
Rar, XD nozzles pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm.
Well,
my
okay,
God.
so pounces on you is the axe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
axe is on you.
Bryce just drops off the
I'm
hand
not
axes.
saying the next line.
Yeah.
Spinning off so many more meme fodder right now.
Oh lord. True. Though I don't. Let me see if I can actually pull it up because I don't think anyone else like on YouTube would have seen probably the one meme art. I'm gonna see if I can get a capture of it real quick.
Oh, is it Pope Prince?
No, but now I gotta do two.
No.
I was gonna talk about why the snack.
Why the snake? Oh, the other. Yeah. I. By the way, that art trinket. I am literally crying at how like ooh cutesy you made a festival.
It's very good.
Very small. He's not very small. He's very useless, but he's not very small. It's just funny.
Big brain, small arms.
But no, he's a beanpole.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's tall and frail.
His arms are long, but they are small.
They're
thin.
they're long and they're absolutely just there for show. There is
Yeah,
no
here's
substance.
Here's art by our friend Trinket at the Trinket Witch over on Blue Sky. But yeah, why does Snack so mad?
Trinket, your art is absolutely
so-
amazing. Stunning,
good.
wonderful, super detailed, really clean. Just great job.
Let's see if in this same capture if I can just get the rest of the art, do a quick fan art showcase, I guess. Oh. Yeah. That downloaded instead of opening it, so let's see here. Just what's download. Okay, I'm going to see if I can't then at least just copy this for a different kind of capture real quick.
You know, some artists are just like that, Trinket. Sometimes you put all of your heart and soul into something, but the thing that sticks, the thing that you do best, is just a fucking shit post.
Yep.
That's like the rules of the internet, I think.
Yep.
And here we now have on screen art done by Rock Bottle Art, who's done a bunch of Those Who Wander art.
Yeah.
Rock Bottle's amazing. Their art has literally made me cry.
Yeah. And then some more of Trinket's art, specifically for Razvan's new War Against the Bourgeoisie. The ruling class is bleeding you dry. I love these
Also
so
so
much.
good. Like, I want those as bumper stickers. They're good.
Yeah, I want these as wall art.
Yeah.
That one is so good. The silhouetting is amazing.
I was gonna say I want this one. I want this one on like a sticker form, so I can put it on like a water bottle or my laptop or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, with like a dynamic edge, that would be an incredible sticker. Like a like triangle sort of pointed upwards with it. That would go so hard as a sticker.
Just casually bring that to work, set it in front of my boss.
No comment.
No comment. But I think do we have everyone? Is everyone here?
I think so.
Yup. I'm here.
I need to go refill my water, but you can start without me. I'll be right back.
Kaz?
I'm here in spirit.
Okay. A great way to start. It's not actually you. It's just
the idea of me.
It's the idea of you. It's the apparition of you.
I return.
Welcome back, and just in time. I was about to ask if you were here.
I'm not.
Just kidding,
Well.
it's scones.
Well, I guess we can't be both here and queer.
You'd think
But,
you could.
You think you could. But I think, with your permission, let's go ahead and jump right back into it.
Alrighty.
I'll allow it.
You really grace us with your permissions, and
You are quite welcome.
thank
I mean,
you.
he did just do something deeply profound and sinister.
He did.
Well, I didn't do anything. Roswell, on the other hand.
Well,
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, we are greeted with the morning. And we haven't done this in a long time. I think it's time we should do this as well. For the rest of you. Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy.
bringing him back.
It's been a minute.
It has.
The ship
That's a
was
14.
haunted by a horror while you slept, so I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
14 both ways for a Festial Omen.
You know,
Five.
as the way I swing.
Lena, you slept like a rock.
Yeah.
A Festial... His sleep was good. It was okay. It was not the best, nor was the deepest, but, like, it was good. No dreams. Yeah. Branson,
Yes.
you didn't have full-blown nightmares, but there was definitely a point in sleep when it just wasn't good. You can't pinpoint why, but for some reason towards the end there, you kind of woke up and then you tried to go back to sleep, and then you woke up and then you tried to go back to sleep, and then you woke up and then you just gave up.
I want to imagine that's like with his old wake up habits, he's coming up with a hand axe and just getting more tired and fed up with it each time.
Yep. Amazing.
That's a 27.
Yeah, so here's the thing about a nat 20. Clem, it has been so long, but you have an extremely good night's sleep. In fact, you have a good dream that night. You
Aw.
haven't dreamt well in who knows how long.
How is that more concerning?
You, in your dream, find yourself in the temple of the old song. It is just you and the temple. But in the temple itself, echoing in the acoustics, in the quiet, you hear a song. Both baritone and yet feminine. You hear words and yet the meaning lost due to time. You feel a sense of joy in this peace, in this moment. You find even the state of the temple to be at its finest, lacking in cracks, the sun glimmering through stained glass window, of which the likes you have never seen since you've set foot in Skald. And though it is brief, you feel at home. And this is abundance. This is something in your life that you have longed for on a profound level, and yet you have it in this moment, however brief, before waking up, feeling more rested than you ever have in who knows how long. And this is how the morning finds the four of you as dawn breaks.
Razvan will move over to the captain's bell and ring it to awaken the crew.
Ding ding. Ding ding.
Lena obviously would wake up upon hearing that.
You feel your bones pop a bit as you stretch. It is a good stretch.
I think Clem makes it to the top deck and immediately is sort of like mentally drawn by Omen, who they walk over to, and they kind of take a knee in front of and sort of seemingly interface with for a bit of time, just kind of slowly nodding. And after that, Omen just sort of takes into the air and kind of heads towards the city proper. And Clem would just pass by Razvan. How did you sleep?
I feel more rested now than I have perhaps in weeks.
That is something I can actually very much relate to. I slept well last night. How was the final watch?
Invigorating, to say the least.
Indeed. There are many things in these lands that can be quite invigorating.
Perhaps you will show me them sometime.
Perhaps we will be shown them sometime.
Indeed. But I would imagine a bit of breakfast for us, the crew, is necessary.
Yes, of course. And Clem would just stare at you, the one eye, for maybe a second longer than would be normal in this kind of conversation before heading off towards breakfast.
Clem might notice that the sunlight of the early morning, especially bouncing off the still water a bit more brightly, is a bit frustrating to Razvan more than usual. He's not wearing his big hat to help block out the sun, but also the sun is just a bit more overpowering for him today.
Just kind of nods almost in affirmation of that before following after you.
And Razvan will walk over to Opestiel's door and knock on it a few times. Firmly, but not too loudly. Thank you.
You won't get a response. He's actually been up and has, instead of going up top deck, has gone immediately down below deck, and is preparing breakfast for everyone.
I see.
Take it he might not be in. Why don't you head downstairs, Clem? I will maintain watch above deck.
Not hungry?
No. I am maintaining fast to try and make sure that the comfort I found fattening is expunged from my body.
Well, when hunger does strike you, just be careful what you eat. And I turn on heel and head downstairs.
So Razvan gonna have to fucking elbow drop Branson to wake up.
No, I was just waiting for a moment. I'd say Branson just wakes up very lazily and like just heads down to the kitchen. I have like, well, not kitchen, the mess out of like instinct, and just heads to see if anyone has brewed coffee.
Clem is one of those annoying natural morning people who don't drink coffee. So they are down there like getting bread and butter ready for everyone, but hasn't put the coffee on. Oh, hello, Branson. Fine morning to you.
Mm. He's completely nonverbal. His eyes are only like barely open. He's just like plodding around. At this point, searching by warmth for whatever coffee or food is out.
I hand you a bread with a thin slick of butter on it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, because we do what we want here, but I obviously cannot speak for your character. So, like, is the lizard equivalent of having heavy bags under the eyes, having like unpeeled shed that's like crusty?
I mean, it makes sense because he's got scales directly under his eyes, so yeah.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have like a full shedding situation, so they probably each shed kind of individually.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably like scratching at it, like he has his gloves off and he's just scratching at it with his like claws, trying. And you just see little flakes coming off. It's not pretty, but rarely anything what Branson is.
Seeing him do that, Ophestiel comes to Branson with some coffee, and he had wet like a dish rag, a clean one, so he can maybe moisten his scales a little bit.
You'll watch he like takes like half that cup of coffee and like just one gulp. Thank you, Captain. As he just starts dabbing at his face and then takes the like the bread into his mouth and is just like holding it while he dabs with his hand.
In the silence. Sorry.
Is everyone else awake? Food's nearly ready.
Is it anyone else here?
I think that's Lena at this point.
She is getting up and getting all prepared for the day. Still kind of like creaking a little bit from waking up. Just having one of those like very stiff mornings, but feeling well rested. And gets up and joins the others, saying, "Hey, how did everyone else sleep?"
Wonderful.
I slept fairly well myself.
That seems to be quite the commodity around here. Enjoy it while you have it, I suppose.
Well, save for our friend up top. Is anyone else a little concerned about Razvan?
I think Razvan's just trying to figure some things out.
I understand the intention behind his keeping of fast, but I think he should break it eventually.
I'll be sure to keep an eye on him, just in case, but...
Thank you, Captain. Well, eat your bread. It's gonna get stale after a few days. I just got the basics.
I would write off for all of you the ration for a meal. And to note, there is a time frame in which Sasha does come and join you actually, and you will note in this moment that they have changed up a bit of their clothing to look different than it did before. You also note that there is what appears to be some sort of like either a white rag or some sort of fabric that is being used as a bandana to cover the hair. And as Sasha joins you for breakfast, they look to you, Ephestial, and he goes, if it would be alright with you, I would like to make it this short this morning.
If you're comfortable with that, then yes.
It is not a fact of comfort, more necessity.
I don't see any reason not to.
If you wish, and will continue to have me aboard your ship, we can coordinate a rendezvous point and time. But there are things that I need to do before I continue to lodge under your ship and under your command.
I understand. Yeah, we'll probably discuss what our next moves are after we're all done here.
Perfect. And with that, he's just gonna eat. You all finish your meals. Is there anything you wish to discuss before you start making your way to the city?
I think we'd probably just discuss like what our plans are for where we're going.
Before they officially embark on wherever they're going, Ophestial will return to top deck and take a glance at the wharf situation.
You can move forward by one ship.
Amazing.
It seems like whatever progress is being made, if any, is incredibly slow.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
History. 21.
21. Remind me. This is a collective before I actually say something. Were Ephestial and Branson present for the conversation that Clem had with Angelique?
The recent one?
When you guys were at the split board.
I think
Ephestial and Branson
we
specifically?
came in at the tail end of it, I believe.
You would have seen the latter half of the confrontation. I think the two, me talking with Razvan and then Angelique sort of spying on us was happening contiguously with y'all searching upstairs.
So, I think for the sake of ease, you would have heard, you remember some sort of offhanded comment being made during that conversation specifically to Clem about issues at the sawmill, but you don't really recollect nor remember if you heard any sort of details about it.
Oh, the sawmill. They told Ophestial that story.
Yeah, that was absolutely, because that was when Clem was
We
like,
were
well, since you were spying
exchanging
on us, yeah,
information.
Right,
yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
was
They
double
were present for
checking.
that. They were present for that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, you heard, you remember Angelique saying that there was an issue over at the sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what you know about, which may not be a lot, I'll leave it up to you, but you get the sense that if there are issues happening at the sawmill, getting lumber to repair the dock might be a little slow to the uptake.
Oh yeah, he's definitely smart enough to put that together. So seeing no progress wasn't a surprise. It was more just checking on the situation, but on his suggestion, they should move forward to not potentially lose their spot in case they do need to dock longer term, but
And I think it's very easy for you to do that. You lift up the anchor, you move a little bit,
you just let
lower
it
the
drift
anchor.
a second and
Yep.
put it back.
Yep.
And he would have asked Branson for his help on that one. But before they leave. So, Branson, you need to pick up your axe, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything else we should check on while we're in town? I am quite curious about what Lychee mentioned yesterday.
Well, whatever we choose, I've remembered something that I used to do, but did not have much need for, so I can possibly better track the cult if we find the lead.
Well, we should definitely check it out, just to cover our bases. Maybe that'll give us a good jumping-off point for where to go next. If no one has any objections, I say
Of
we should
course.
make our way to shore.
Of course not, Captain. We shall follow your lead.
Alright. I suppose that's, back to the dinghy.
Razvan, yesterday I believe I recall you were wishing to find the... You were going to inquire about some armor, correct? Do you still wish to do so today?
If it is at all possible, but it is an expense that we may have to live without.
Well, why don't you accompany Branson to pick up the axe? It's the same place, isn't it?
It is indeed. I shall follow Branson on this endeavor.
Branson will nod, and, yeah, just head towards the dinghy.
For my
Branson.
sake, we're going to, for the sake of time, we are going to forego the usual checks as you row your boat to. Are you going to the same place that you beached your rowboat beforehand?
I think that makes sense.
I assume
Yeah.
so.
Placing you here.
We don't get to play the rowboat minigame this time.
I'm so sorry.
For sake of time. But that would place you on the map that I can now share with you all. Places you about here. Again, for sake of brevity, you note Sasha almost very quickly darting away from the rest of you, as if not to be seen, moving straight for the old shacks, if you remember them before disappearing.
Would it have been clear that they wished to do that on the way?
What do you mean?
Like, would they have made it clear to us that they were going to try to hide, etc.?
Or does it seem like this is a response to them seeing something?
Yeah.
This is
Thank
more
you.
so. Well, you collectively would know that they are trying not to be spotted.
Got it. So this is pre-planned. It's not.
This is
reaction.
pre-planned.
Yeah, I kind of thought as much. In which case, as we're walking up just before they split, I would say, "Would you like any assistance with moving around the city unseen?"
I think it would be better to move solely to detract ice.
I will use my 1 free cast per day of invisibility on them.
Fantastic. You get the sense with a stick picked up and drawn a smiley face on the ground as a thank you before they're gone, like smoke.
Absolutely. Clem just offers like a quick prayer to Miliel as they head away.
The rest of you, the trek, and again, we'll save the interaction for sake of time. The trek back into the city is not difficult, nor is it bustling. Do you take the high toll roads again to get into Upper Skeld?
Yeah, I think we'll take it. If that expedites things, then that's what we'll do.
It would,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
otherwise you have to get through you would have to get through the other garrisons.
We saw the
you'd still
difference
have-
in time between
Yeah.
what we could have done and what we did last time, so we'll go with the quicker method. Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, even if this time around, even if you were to do a persuasion or deception, if the toll is gonna be not great today, as they are asking for a gold a person.
Clem reaches down to their coin purse and opens it up, and there's a like sound as I am literally out of money.
Ophacio will pay their way again.
Roswell will kind of approach. Allow me, Captain.
Oh, are you sure?
I am most certain.
He will let you.
And he will walk up to the nearest guard.
The guard, I mean, they're standing there waiting.
Just one or multiple?
There are multiple. You see 4 stationed outside the side of the garrison.
Apologies, but we are in somewhat of a hurry. Our business is with Hark and Lucas, and we must get moving rather quickly. If you would stand aside.
Pay up. Seem to not be letting anyone in without paying, as he holds
What?
out his hand.
What was your name?
My name.
Indeed. I need to give a name to Hark and Lucas to let them know exactly who is holding us up.
Oh,
I like your spunk. Last name is Peterson. I still need a gold apiece.
No. You need to stand aside. Command.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. What is your DC?
15.
Easily. Immediately steps aside.
After
Open the
you,
gates.
After you, Captain.
He kind of looks at you and looks at the guard and looks at you again and just shrugs and walks in.
And yeah, the gate's open. You see the other guards standing there looking very confused about what just happened. But he's letting you in.
Clem smirks in an almost like proud manner as she looks at the back of Razvan as we head in.
Once again, you're greeted. It is overwhelming, even as early in the day as it is. The sounds of, to be blunt, music, work songs, morning songs, prayers to the sky. If it weren't harmonious, it would sound like dissonance and discord, and yet it does not. As you make your way through the town, retracing the steps that you've now traced a couple times, make your way back to that familiar shop. You see the sign indicating at the front that they are open. And you even see pluming above the shop the black smoke of a forge rising into the sky.
Razvan will kind of move to push the door or pull the door open for Branson.
You're able to do so with ease. And you hear the ding, ding, ding.
Branson,
Mm-hmm.
may I come in?
Yes. Though you'll watch as,
I'll follow.
like, hearing you say that, Branson immediately raises an eyebrow at you.
You'll follow.
Okay. But he'll step in and just, again, try to make some noise, since a part of the beautiful relationship is no one uses names.
Hey! Use! With the smithy apron!
We've got an axe with nothing?
He does have a name.
Well, no! He never specifically told Branson his name because this is an under-the-table deal.
You're right.
Forget about it.
And then Clem tried to tell you the name, and you went, no, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Yep. But so you hear the clanging of hammer against metal, hammer against an anvil, and as you yell into the shop, it stops, and you see burly beard and soot around the eyes as a man's head pops over the there's like I think I've described it before, but there's like a partial enclosure, like a wall between the forge area and the main area of the shop, and you see a head pop up and he goes, "Ah, you've returned."
Indeed.
Here to collect your winnings, I take it. Give me just a second. And you watch as he sets his tools down. He quickly wipes the, soot and grime from his hands, wiping them on a nearby cloth as well. And this is the first time, Razvan, you've encountered this man. This man is incredibly burly, very strong, and he has this air about him of he's not really closed off per se, but he definitely gives the air of somebody who doesn't easily warm up to others. It's the sense of like, he's probably, I would argue, selective about his clientele, but clearly a rapport is starting to be established between this man and Branson, and therefore some of that's actually starting to come down even as he sees you enter alongside him. And he pulls off the axe, which now, Branson, you see pristine, by the way, and any issues that it may had, any imbalances that it may have had beforehand have been corrected, and it is in fact silvered. And he kind of gives it a hefty toss, like not fully in the air. Obviously, he's got a hand holding it, but to just kind of show you the change in balance before he holds it out to you. There you go. Good as new, I'd say.
Branson takes it, just holds it in his arm for a second. Perfect. Now,
Anything else I can do for you, gentlemen?
my companion here would like to speak of possible armors.
Armors?
Rasvan will take out 100 gold, stack it neatly. As much armor plating as I can get with this.
Gotta looks at it, and he looks at you, and he looks at it, and he looks at you. And he looks at it again. Let's see here. 100.
I understand. You are a hard-working individual. I can tell by the sweat of your brow. I do not wish to haggle you out of your hard labors and your works. 100 gold is not much by the standards of armor, but do know that we fight to protect Skald and her interests. If that is any consolation.
Well, and you mentioned you were friends. Your friend here is no stranger to working his way through things. I wouldn't be opposed to take this as a down payment and sending you on a couple of errands to work your way to what it would cost to get you. Are you looking for full plate?
As heavy as you can get.
We can start with half. We're gonna work our way up to. We can start with like a breastplate, work our way up to half, and then eventually to full. It'll take some time, but I'm sure I've got plenty of work that needs to be done, and
That is amenable. I appreciate your accommodations.
not every day I get a man interested in plate. Not every day I get the opportunity to work on something a bit out of my comfort zone.
Indeed.
Given the lack of competition, I'm happy to rise to the occasion.
He will take out the glove off his hand and offer a handshake.
He'll shake your hand and then kind of give you a small pull. And he'll actually pull out a piece of parchment where he is going to write up, and if at some point you would like me to physically write it for you, I will. But he will actually write up a contract indicating that in order to reach full plate, he will need you to do a total of 3 jobs for him at his disclosure.
I would love that written up. Do understand that Leah is my personal legal assistant, so yeah, if she clears it, we're good to go. I'll sign it after. You're cool with that, right, Leah?
Yeah, and that's me, not Clem. Like I.
Correct. Yeah. Leah, you will not be getting your day rate.
Yeah. So the mists just like summon you, Leah. You're here now.
How y'all doing?
A gorgeous trans woman stands before you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
How are you?
Hey, hi, how are you?
Do y'all notice that this new person named Clem can't speak at the same time? What is with that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I've never
what
seen them
you're
in the
talking
same room
about.
together.
No,
Clem
I'm
just
sorry to
disappeared.
I just mentioned Clem turned into a life-size ventriloquist dummy with Leah's hand behind.
Oh god, no, wait.
Take everything back.
Rosfun will take the note, acknowledge it, read it over. If it is a contract, he will sign it. If not, he will keep it on his
It
person.
is a contract, yes.
Then he will sign it.
The first thing I would like for you to do is gather materials. there are rumors of, and I've heard that this is not the first time that somebody has been sent to Dargok Keep. The Fallen Towers, sort of a haunted resting place for many a fallen soldier. I've heard that in the rubble and in the prison cells, you might find old armor.
I think
But I've
Branson
also-
would notice Clem shifting uncomfortably at that. Sorry, Saris.
You're good. My request of you would be to help source some of the material. Get whatever you can. Whatever you can that's still intact. Bring it to me.
It shall be done.
Very well. Then as soon as you bring in what you can, we'll talk about your first installment. For now, he will take the 100 gold, he will put it in what appears to be a leather pouch that he sort of keeps hidden. You realize now is actually locked away in like a cabinet. I will take this as a down payment.
He will put a hand to his chest and give a almost soldier's bow.
I wish you luck and safe travels.
If our charge is the righteous one and is as strong as the company that we keep, I'm certain it will be no challenge at all.
He'll nod.
Now, Branson, do you have any other business here?
None at the moment.
Very well. And Rosvan will head outside to bother Ophestiel.
Okay. What are Ephestiel and Lena doing at this time? While that's all going on, are you patty caking again, or?
I feel like that might be kind of hard for Lena.
A little bit. There is an accuracy issue. However,
okay.
Lena has spirit.
Just keep slapping the shit out of Ophestiel's face.
He's just got the biggest, like, bruise on his face now.
Ooh.
No, I was gonna say instead he's developing a secret handshake with her that doesn't require a whole lot of distance between their hands, so she always has a point of contact.
I like that. I like that.
Roll me, because this is very funny, a performance check.
Performance?
Performance.
Yo, you gotta roll to dap your girl up? What the fuck?
14.
So, as...
Yeah!
So as the three of you step outside, you see the two of them flawlessly do what looks like some sort of secret handshake.
As we does Branson and Clem head outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following quietly.
Roslan will give a smile towards Ophestiel, kind of indicating that business is done here, and he'll kind of linger back, waiting for Clem. Just kind of quietly and personally. You seemed uneased by this. What was it? Dagat Keep?
Yes. It's been mentioned in our travels before. There is a very strong likelihood of cult presence in Dargok Keep. It is large, and it is old, and it is abandoned. There are many twisting corridors and secret hovels for them to hide in. But that is not the only reason I am uncomfortable. what he mentioned, a job previously. That was me, or at least I was one of them. I have successfully returned from Dargocht, though the companions I traveled with at the time and worked with at the time are no longer around. That being said, I do maybe know where we could find perhaps some salvageable materials. I may or may not have taken care of a guard there myself.
See. And I will trust your wisdom, and I give thanks for your wisdom in this matter. Apologies if this is a fresh wound for you still.
Wound, not exactly. But my reputation in the city is a bit dissonant from my actual actions. And were my true behavior and motives in the city to be revealed to the public, I'm afraid my standing as one of the few goblin here would further deteriorate.
Let your dissonance become resonance, my friend. We will do good by the people that are worth doing good for.
Clem looks around at the rich buildings we are within, the estate houses that we've kind of passed by to get here. Well, then let us get to those people and head to Lower Skull.
If you would not mind leading us the way, you are still the most comfortable here.
I suppose I will not be needing to lead you all much longer. A few more trips and you'll be able to do it yourself. But nonetheless, follow. And I begin taking them towards, and if I remember correctly, there are 2 gate paths. Oh yeah, you can see on the map here. There are 2 gate paths that lead through the wall, but there's one that we could go out through Dargocht and then.
And you would
back
recognize that these are both toll garrisons
in.
versus the inner gates, which you just have to get through security.
I will mention that to Ephesiel specifically, and with Razvan and earshot. We could pass through Dargocht, but we would need to leave through toll gates and then re-enter. We can also just pass through the security checkpoints along the wall. Which do you feel is more prudent?
Sorry, I think I missed something. Are we planning on going to check out the cult activity?
I'm asking whether or not we want to pass through Dargocht to kind of familiarize ourselves once more, or if we want to just head to Lower Skull and meet with Hark and Lucas first.
A point of order. The old Kartakas Inn is up here.
Oh shit! I thought Old Kartakas Inn was in Lower Skull.
That is why your little adventure happened in Upper Skull.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Redacted.
Redacted. In which case, I would say we can head to Dargocht Keep to check it out, and I would gesture at the water. There's another bridge. It's where the old Kartakas Inn is. We've passed through it a couple times, and well, there's not much more to say on it. I believe that is our destination, correct?
Aye. Let us head towards. Unless there are any objections, I would recommend we head towards the old Kartakas Inn with haste.
No, I've been curious about checking it out myself.
I would say Branson probably looks over and gauges Lena's perspective on things, since Lena's the only one who has a strong knowledge of a different Hark and Lucas than regular Skull people.
when this question is gauged, it doesn't seem like she's taken a breath yet. But she like looks like toward Branson and just like kind of like very like quickly like nods very quickly as if like I should nod now before I become more hesitant.
I would say Branson just move over and place a hand on their shoulder without really saying anything, but just kind of give a reaffirming like grip on the upper shoulder since he knows that part's flesh.
But she will finally like exhale and take another breath.
Five of you, with Clem at the helm, pun intended, make your way through the streets of Upper Skull. And as for some of you, whether it be anxiety or excitement settles in, you can't help but notice, just as before, the many patrols and squadrons of city guard looping. In the short amount of time that it takes for you to get to the bridge, I swear you've seen maybe 5 different patrol groups pass by. There's something very, dare I say it, oppressive in this moment, whereas maybe before you didn't pay much mind to it. But in this moment, it feels like you're being watched, but not as before, not as strangers in a strange land, but rather scrutinized. With that sense and feeling of you don't belong here. And Clem, you would recognize this feeling as the feeling that is given to anyone who doesn't belong here. But you make your way, nevertheless, to the bridge not affected at all by fungus or mold, at least not on the top. You aren't necessarily certain about the stokes holding it up, but then again, they're made of iron, metal. You don't believe that that's enough. And thus, you feel for the first time in a while a bridge steady, strong, and shrouded in mist as the thundering of the sing-song falls booms behind you. 5 of you approach the front door. Sign, Old Kartakas Inn, hanging, bapping against the side wall with the breeze. As you open the door, uncertainty and anticipation crawling up your skin. That is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Okay.
Woof. Scary.
Thanks, Saris.
Thank you. Thank you for playing.
Oh. And now we've got to wait 2 more weeks.
4 more weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am out of town. I'm so sorry.
I gotta prepare 4
dare
weeks of
you.
suits.
It's okay. The Nobbler's reign will begin.
Kaz, I do like appreciate that. We're like, hey, Festio, are you worried about Razvan? Oh, no, it's just a phase. Cut to Razvan drinking blood from It's just a phase, don't worry about it.
Yeah, does anyone else think Razvan should, like, maybe eat and break his fast? No, he's fine.
Nah, he's fine. Listen, he's an adult.
You know how adults, they just occasionally drink blood from unknowable shadow creatures. Yeah, we all do it.
Yeah, you all do
You
it.
never
You
actually-
go
you
to
never
those
drank blood
parties with
before?
masks and robes, right?
Yeah.
You were saying. I almost called you a Festio, Kaz.
Hey, you've swapped places.
That's
Leah's in the game
oh,
now, but
dear.
Hephaestion's
Oh,
in
right.
our world
No,
now.
but oh, good lord. Oh my god. You were just reaching into the chalice full of mystery drugs.
America is a domain of dread. Prove me wrong.
Oh, so real.
I can't argue with that.
So
Yeah.
real.
No.
The Dread Realm, Texas.
Of all
You
the
say that.
places.
I
say that,
banish
but
you to Ohio!
You say that. You say that. But I can confirm it is a dread realm.
I know.
I just had the
Alright.
dumbest thought of like Rosbon, like it like we were joking like a minute ago, enjoying a drink, and I just imagine like during like the like moon or that's causing like the water to turn to blood. I just imagine the longest silly straw.
It's bat shaped.
It's like that. It's like that bit of like I only need one glass and it's the biggest wine glass in the world, and it's the entire like underneath the docks.
No. He's got one of those like drinking hats, and it's just got like type A and type B and each.
I'm actually going to a goth club later tonight that actually has a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's a cocktail that's served in a blood bag. They actually do
Yeah.
that there.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, I think I know exactly where you're going.
Hell yeah.
God, I wish I had the
Yeah.
chance really close by me and before my pal Jacob moved away. Like for a while there was an Edgar Allan Poe themed speakeasy open like 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Here, Skelly, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna conjure a portal to the elemental plane of Florida.
I was gonna make a domain expansion Florida weather joke. So like,
Oh my
same
God.
brain.
I
Same
think
brain.
we just need to like a teleporting closet between Portland and Florida, and you can come
Narnia,
over.
but with
Yeah.
terror.
I
But
want to
with
visit
all the
friends,
weird
please.
shit that's in this area
There's
because
canonically,
Narnia,
there's
but with
so
humidity.
much.
there's canonically a door in Sigil that leads to Florida. This is not a joke.
Oh my
There's a
god.
foreign signal that leads to everywhere imaginable.
Yes, but like in canon, there is one that leads to Florida.
That's
In
so funny.
canon, the Wizard Elminster went to actual world Texas, got
Mhm.
got a actual revolver, and hung out with the writer from
Ed
where
Greenwood.
he's
Yep,
from.
yep.
Too funny. That's too funny.
I am specifically referring to the story where, and I shit you not, the Greek hero Odysseus travels to Sigil, and at one point during that story, they go to Florida.
That yeah. No, that
Truly
makes
an
sense.
odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Best story never written.
Man.
Man.
Florida, am I right?
No.
It's the cows stand with the ocean.
Listen, I've been to Florida for all of a week of my life, and I wanted to leave.
The 10th layer of hell, the Florida Panhandle.
No.
I walked outside of Florida airport. Well, I don't remember which one, but a Florida airport once, and I remember feeling my skin crawling in the humidity and
You
my
started-
hair audibly disagreeing with the surroundings, and I was like, I'm good. Y'all can have Florida.
You started taking Minecraft tick damage.
Truly, actually.
Listen, when I was there, I straight up watched a crane, like the bird, bum rush one of the kids that I was on a trip with. And I definitely took that as a sign to leave.
I don't know how to tell you this. I had the pleasure, simultaneous displeasure of going to a Pensacola beach. And the fact that I could see in the sunlight the physical rays of heat coming off of the ocean, not the sand, the ocean. Fear.
when the only reason it's not evaporating is because the air is as wet as the water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, should we pass the talking skull around?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we should. Who wants to start?
Guess we gotta end the
What-
stream.
I
what
nominate
could
our
we do?
resident Floridian.
Yeah, let's start with Skelly.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's Skelly Alpha here, resident Floridian. How's everybody doing? You can find
Heavy
me...
is the head that wears the crown.
the sunblock. You can find me at Twitch, Blue Sky, and in Florida. Currently, I'm... Currently, I'm on break while I'm still recovering from the surgery. So the fundraiser's still going to help me cover rent, utilities, and bills while I recover and find a new job on the other side now. I'll be doing a couple little things here and there on the coming week, mostly just appearing on other people's channels. I know on Tuesday, in lieu of Paper Mario and the Cosmic Caper, we'll be doing some Minecraft hangouts on various folks' channels. Friday, the 4 Gears hangout where we play the Terraria Calamity Run will still be going on. And I might be hanging out with a couple other people on their channels and stuff. I'll make sure to throw out pings or reposts wherever I show up. But do stay tuned because the 3D model debut will be on June 22nd. I'm starting to set up everything, and I've completely dissected OBS, so I'm not running anything anytime soon until I get all the new stuff set up. So that'll do it for me. And with that, I'll pass the Talking Skull over to Zan.
How dare you? It's me, Zan, in a weird voice for some reason as I reposition myself in my chair. Hi, I'm Zan. I already showed earlier, but you can check me over on my Blue Sky at Zanl's Grim, where I post everything I do when I do it. But if no one's told you I love you today, please allow me to be the first. I love you very much. Thank you for spending your time with us. That is me, as I hand the skull over to one amusing Thalia.
I do that like cool thing where I like roll it over my shoulders like a basketball and then start spinning it on a finger while I talk.
Damn, that's sick as
Hi.
hell.
Thank you. I can't do this IRL. Hi, I'm Amusing Thalia. You can find me on my channel at Amusing Thalia. Doing some game tomorrow. I am waiting on a response from Gaius, figuring out whether or not we're supposed to be doing Nier or Star Wars tomorrow, because I think he got messed up from the previous week, me playing Lies of P. I'm sorry, not sorry. But other than that, you can find me on my channel on Thursdays as well, running some more Suits and then other games in the future. Friday, you can find me currently at punky_0_0. As we're doing some Signalis on Fridays. That's been a real fun time. I'm excited to continue delving into that. Punky's doing the combat, I'm doing the puzzles, and overall we're both getting tortured by lesbians. It's a great time, genuinely. And then on Saturdays, Sundays, you can find me Sundays here doing this or Suits, and on Saturdays, nothing currently at the moment. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Thank you for spending your time with us. We all get a limited amount of it, and I just want you to know that we appreciate which of yours you spend with us here today. And now I'm going to throw the Talking Skull in the air and do a like cool flip soccer kick towards Kaz.
It's gonna come at me and smack me right in the head because I have really bad depth perception and I don't think I can say anything nearly as cool as Leah just did. So hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me on Instagram at Blue Sky at Catastrophe or at Sarcastic Vision. I'm mostly doing art fight prep right now, so I will mostly be on my art account. But yeah, that's me. I don't stream, so I just linger. I'm gonna pick up the Talking Skull and I'm gonna volleyball serve it over to Saris.
Hi, you can find me all over the internet at TixTixel. Sometimes I stream. Sometimes I stream with my friends. Not quite sure what's happening exactly for Monday, but just as Leah said, we will find out in the near future. Other than that, Saturday is again a doubleheader. We've got more toxic lawyer lesbians, and then followed by that, carnival shenanigans. So if you are interested in either of that, come back over here at Burnout Vaughn's channel on Saturday, and then follow us over to my channel after that. I just want to say a really, really quick thank you to all of my players for a great session tonight. And thank you to Vaughn for hosting, as always. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you stuck around and you listened to this whole thing and you're still here, we really, really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And with that, I'm going to take the skull and I'm going to gently put it in Vaughn's hand.
Real quick, Sarah, so your people are going to contact my paralegal, right? With the contract? Okay. Make sure.
But yeah, hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar, where, yeah, we'll keep you posted on what's to come. Possibly some Minecraft shenanigans on Tuesday. Over on Saturday, we will definitely have some more No Love War Extra, where we also torture paralegals. So, you know, we're going to try to treat them nicer over here and then just save on Saturdays for the bad stuff where we make them lick evidence and stuff. But then following that, yes, we have more suits where, yeah, we're finally going to have to take the Nobbler seriously. Oh. Listen, we can take the power out of him until next Sunday. That's our only strength right now. But yeah, keep on the lookout for that. And again, I will try to keep people posted on if I have time to do some more Battle Network streams. Where, again, we just are going to do normal 5th grader things, which is stopping terrorists. Like 7 in a month. But yeah, with that out of the way, I think we might as well just go right over to a friend's where we were all hanging out and talking about, you know, party polycules. So we're going to head over to Punky, who's still doing some Minecrafting. Looks like they're having a heck of a time, too. But yeah, what should our raid message be?
Eat the rich.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's on brand.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right. Thank you all for coming out. We will see you again in 4 weeks' time. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fare thee well.